Olympic Forest Products brings you St. Edward High School football. It's the St. Edward Eagles versus the St. Ignatius Wildcats, presented by Franciscus Roofing. Hi again, everybody. I'm Adam Mendoza, and we've got a special guest with us for this week. It's basketball coach Eric Flannery. We've been trying to get you up in the booth for a couple of years, and we finally got you up here in the booth.
Well, I couldn't be more honored, number one, to be next to you. My debut is going to be the biggest game and the biggest rivalry in the state of Ohio, so thanks for bringing me here. And yeah, it's been a long time. So since Coach Lombardo's done a few basketball games, I told him this is my payback, so I'm going to get it tonight.
Well, we're going to take a look at our Franciscus Roofing Impact Players, Cleveland, Ohio's trusted name in roofing. And for the St. Edward Eagles, we have to look at Johnny Ivanchik and what he has been able to do this year.
I mean, a senior that's had some experience. Right now, I think he's playing some of the best football that he's played in his career. Starting to throw the ball really well, finding open guys, getting his eyes down the field. It's going to be exciting to watch him tonight in this big rivalry game.
He's that big dual threat quarterback that we're so used to seeing at St. Ed's. On the other side of the ledger, for the St. Ignatius Wildcats, it's their wide receiver, Luke Sims.
And you talk about some explosive guys, not only Luke and Trey Haddad, but Luke can really extend the field, extend plays. He gets down the field fast. He's explosive. I talked to Coach Pappas. This is one of the two guys that they really got to focus on and contain tonight.
And the other guy is probably Trey Haddad.
No question.
That you've got to really watch. So that's our initial look at tonight's game, as it is the Battle of the Saints. When we come back, we'll have more of the pregame coming up next on the Eagles Sports Network.
At Joyce Buick GMC, serving the community for nearly 60 years means offering the best service and deals in town.
Check out our great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles.
We are receiving truckloads of new vehicles and fresh trade-ins daily.
Visit us today for our lowest prices and great selection.
And that's why people say, drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Being in Esmond is all about brotherhood, a diverse community where everyone has your back.
It's an education for the future, showing us how we can all make a difference in the world.
It's about top-tier athletics, pushing us further than we ever thought we'd go.
We invite 8th grade families to experience Holy Cross hospitality at Open House on Sunday, October 5th. See you there.
Today's game is brought to you by Olympic Forest Products, consistent, reliable, built to go the distance. By Franciscus Roofing, Cleveland, Ohio's trusted name in roofing. By Joyce Buick GMC, drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do. By Tokar & Company, CPAs, your local and full-service accounting firm. By J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick, hurting a car, call K&R. And by the Cleveland Clinic, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. Welcome back here to the Madhouse on Madison as we get ready for this battle of the Saints, the West Side rivalry between St. Ed's and St. Ignatius. It is time to take a look at our keys to the game. Brought to you by Joyce Buick GMC. Drive Joyce, your friends and fellow Eagles do. For the St. Edward Eagles, they need to limit the explosive pass plays, and we saw that we talked about that, Trey Haddad and Sims.
Listen, Ignatius' strength is that explosive play. They've shown it throughout the season so far. Sims and Haddad are two weapons that can score a touchdown pretty much on any play. And then we talk about special teams. I had a long conversation with Coach Corcoran this week, and Dan was basically saying, listen, we got to be careful. The Cole kid, the sophomore, is one of the fastest guys. He's somewhat elusive. If they don't take care of business, if they make sure they take care of their lanes. He also talked about on special teams, their job when they're returning punts is to try to get a first down every time. And I said, what does that mean? He said, we just want to try to get 10 yards on a return on the punt. We get a first down on every time that we're returning a punt. We're going to try to take care of that. But one way Ignatius, I think, can hang in the game today and beat us is if they beat us in the special teams category. And then obviously I think for both teams, if you can take care of the football, just like in basketball, if you limit your turnovers, you have a much better chance of winning. And obviously you want to have a clean game on both sides.
And for the Wildcats of St. Ignatius, they've got to cut back on penalties. They've had games where they've loaded up on the penalties in a game.
Listen, this is what's scary about Ignatius. They're extremely talented. And they've had some bad luck, maybe some misfortune. Some of that on big plays, some of that on penalty calls that have called back touchdowns, like last week against Benedictine. But like you said here, they do have to start hot offensively. Talking to Coach Pappas, I think defensively they're looking for Ignatius to establish some short passes early in the game, get some confidence in their offense, get some confidence in their quarterback, and stay on the field for a long time. So if we can get them out early, 3 and outs a few times early in the game, I think St. Ed's obviously has a big chance.
And they need to limit the big play. We've got big play players all over the place. It's not just Brandon White and Zach Ackelman.
All over the field. I think on any play, this is like watching Guardians baseball in the playoffs, right? Every pitch is important. Here, every play is important because both teams have somebody either in the backfield or a wide receiver that I think can explode for a touchdown on any play.
Now for our tale of the tape for today's game, you look at the records, they're polar opposites. St. Ed's really putting up the points, 39 points a game, giving up 18, but you look at it's flip-flopped again with St. Ignatius. They've struggled in getting the points, only 14 a game, giving up 26. They have struggled passing, they have struggled running the ball as well.
You know what I'm going to say about this, Adam? Throw it all out. Just throw it all out. This is St. Ed's, St. Ignatius. Records don't mean anything. There's a lot of pride on the line. Obviously, Ignatius needs this win for a lot of reasons. St. Ed's would like to keep this streak going and establish themselves as the dominant program here in Northeast Ohio. So there's a lot on the line tonight. And I know from a coaching standpoint, you forget about everything when you walk on this field or walk on the court. You just want your guys to play well tonight, execute well tonight. And sure, we can look at some of these stats and say that leads to a few tendencies here or there. But the reality is tonight's all about both teams 0-0, and let's get after it.
When we come back, we'll get ready for the kickoff as it's St. Ed's and St. Ignatius coming up next on the Eagles Sports Network. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football, presented by Franciscus Roofing.
I got $20, he shanks it. Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic, long reach, no shortcuts.
For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
Started by a father, built by a family, proudly serving Cleveland since 1991. Franciscus Roofing has delivered honest, high-quality work starting with one truck and one promise: do the job right. From inspections to full replacements, our family-owned team brings craftsmanship to every roof.
Get your free estimate today at 1-866-STAY-DRY.com.
It's so easy if you try. 1-866-STAY-DRY. Franciscus Roofing.
And welcome back to the Madhouse on Madison as we get ready for the Battle of the Saints. St. Ed's and St. Ignatius. Adam Mendoza along with Eric Flannery. Yes, that Eric Flannery, the basketball coach at St. Ed's, making his debut up here in the booth with our producer, Christopher Mendoza. Coach, you know what it's like to be in a St. Ed's, St. Ignatius matchup. What is going through the minds, not only of the kids, but the coaches?
Well, I can definitely tell you both sides here. Coach Franziger at Ignatius right now, he's trying to focus his team on the moment. Be where your feet are. Make sure that who cares what our record is. This is a huge game. We're trying to make the playoffs. We're trying to turn momentum around for the season. Things aren't going great for us right now, maybe because of whether it's bad calls or unlucky fortune, what have you. But he's nervous. You know, he wants to make sure that they stay in the game, but this is a big game for them. And what he's telling his players is, hey, this is an opportunity for us to turn our season around and really right any wrongs that we've had before. And then you go to Coach Lombardo, obviously with the conversations I've had with him this week, he said, don't you dare talk about a running clock. So many people are talking about, hey, we should running clock St. Ignatius tonight. We're trying to win this game no matter how we can do it. And that's one of the things as a coach is you got to make sure you temper your guys' expectations a little bit, bring them down to earth and understand that Ignatius is going to fight for their lives. St. Ignatius has got a lot of talent. You know, they've got some players. And we'll be talking about the explosiveness of a lot of these guys. St. Ed's has to just make sure that they're focused and they're locked in. And they understand that right from the opening kick here, we got to be ready to go.
And you've always said, throw the records out, throw the stats out. It's St. Ed's and St. Ignatius.
It really is. I mean, we'll talk throughout the course of the game how many friendships we have. TJ Gallagher, I think, said it best. He said a lot of these guys understand that this is a great rivalry today while they're playing, but they're going to realize 20, 30, 40 years from now how special it really is with all of the relationships they have, not only amongst each other, but on the other team. So a great night of football. Looking forward to this. I do have to make sure before opening kickoff I say hi to Mom back home, listening, 86 years old, just had her birthday. Hi, Mom, love you. Let's go Eagles.
All right, the Eagles will get the ball as Griffin gets ready to kick this one. It's an end-over-end kick. It'll be taken by Moore at the 7-yard line. He goes up the middle, goes to the right, and he gets taken down. Breaks a tackle at the 30, and he is still on his feet at the 40 before he is brought down on the near sideline by Anthony Angelante.
That's the one guy I think Ignatius should not kick to. That's one of the fastest guys in the state. Brandon Moore, I think he already has 2 touchdowns on the season returning. What an unbelievable talent he is. Again, if I was Ignatius, that would be the last guy I kicked the ball to open up the game, and he obviously made him pay.
Well, this opening drive is brought to you by Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick. Hurt in a car, call K&R. Eagles will open up with a 2-back set. They did that last week as they have the football at their own 41-yard line, and they're going to run it to Brandon White. He cuts back to the near side into the secondary as he gets to the 40-yard line or the 50-yard line. He'll be close to the first down marker.
I think they're giving it to us. He looked like he gained 9, but they're giving us the first down, which is great. The one thing St. Ed's wants to establish early, I think, is that run game. One of Ignatius' strengths is their front 7. Their defensive line is tough. This is a great way to start the game.
Now we'll take a look at our quarterback for today. That's Johnny Ivanchik. You look at the numbers last week against McNamara, 111 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 67%. He's done a really good job. Now they give the ball to Brandon White. He bets over for the secondary. He gets the first down as he gets down to the 30-yard line. 2 big plays by the Eagles.
A little motion there to the strong side. We handed it off. Brandon took off on the outside. Just watch this. We had a motion lead blocker right here that freed up Brandon on the end. Don't be surprised as we now do a little bit of a counter as the game goes on with some of that motion.
Brings up a 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line of the Wildcats. They'll go with a pistol with a single setback. That is Brandon White. 2 receivers on the near side. Tight end to the right. Ivanchik has one in motion. Play action, looking downfield, throws, has a wide open Hackelman, and he gets it in for a touchdown from 31 yards out as Hackelman scores again.
Well, that's a pretty good way to start the game. Great kickoff return, a couple fantastic runs, and another Hackelman touchdown. He's got to be close to setting some records or even increasing on some of his records that he's already set. What a move, what a throw by Ivanchik, and way to finish it off by Zach Hackelman, who I'm still trying to get on the basketball court this season.
So he needed 1 touchdown to tie the regular season record for touchdowns in a season, and he does. He has 10 now as this kick is up, and it is good. The Eagles get on top very quickly. 7-0, you're watching Olympic Forest Products. St. Edward High School football presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagles Sports Network.
Bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger and create new ways to move past injuries. See how we're advancing orthopedic care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Well, the Eagles getting on the board very quickly. It was a 3-play drive that resulted in a touchdown. It's time to take a look at our Regal Eagle for this week. And Aiden Breen is our student athlete of the game, committed to servant leader, who has dedicated time and effort to serving those in need. As you look, he's worked at the Bountiful Basement in West Park, as well as the St. Ed's Community Meal, St. Vincent de Paul Food Distribution, and St. Luke's Community Meal. He's also a member of the baseball team. Recently joined the team in making rosaries for the Legion of Mary. Aiden Breen, our student athlete of the game.
Congratulations, Aiden.
Well, Coach Flan, the Eagles getting on the board quickly on their first drive of the ball game, as this one is going to be taken at the 5-yard line. Here come the Wildcats. They have the runners to make some moves, and that time the run back is picked up by Billy Cole, and he'll bring it out, and the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10 as we take a look at their quarterback coming in, Jacob Micken, the sophomore. Boy, he's been a lot of pressure on him.
Well, a sophomore put in a tough spot. A couple injuries to their previous 2 quarterbacks. They really like Jacob, though. He's got a heck of an arm. More of a pocket passer. We're not so much concerned about his legs as we are his arm. Here we go again. Once again, Coach Pappas was talking about be ready for short passes, ready to get the quarterback.
Oh, it's intercepted, and the Eagles are going to get a pick 6 that time, as coming up with it is Braden Thomas with a pick 6, but there is a flag on the field.
There is a flag on the play. I'm not sure if it's holding or roughing the passer. This might be against St. Ed's. Yep, there it is.
Roughing the passer, that'll negate the pick 6.
Here we go. What a read, first of all. Fake handoff, stepped right in, picked it off. Little questionable call on the quarterback. Again, talking to Coach Pappas at the beginning, right? He said they're going to try to get some quick hitters. They're going to try and spread the field as much as they can by getting some confidence. But here we get a little tough call.
That touchdown for the Eagles gives them a touchdown streak of 44 games, and they do very well when they score on their first possession of the ball game.
One of the keys to the game, as you said, Adam, was limit penalties, right? And there's one pretty big penalty that took a score off the board for St. Ed's and gives Ignatius another opportunity here.
They'll have the ball at the 36-yard line. They're going to hand it off, and not a whole lot, a couple of yards on the play as the Eagles' BP Pelosi coming in to make the stop.
Again, just over a minute into the game. If I'm St. Ignatius, though, I'm still trying to establish this. I'm trying to run a little clock off, maybe ball control.
Well, the Wildcats averaging 158 yards on the ground.
Here we are, man deep, man coverage. Safety deep.
Micken is going to hand it off. They'll bounce to the outside. They'll pick up the first down on the run by Colwell, and he's driven out of bounds in St. Edward territory.
We talk about the 2 weapons at wide receiver. The 2 running backs can also be very explosive. They're guys that what Coach Pappas talked about, too, is our defensive front, as talented as they are, they're a little smaller than we've been in years past. And we need to send some linebackers to give a little bit more help to Ignatius's big front offensive line. So we really worried about the run.
Wildcats will go in a single setback out of the pistol formation. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 42. There's a run, gain of maybe a half yard on the play. Pelosi in there to lead the charge.
Great job on our interior line there. Sending our linebackers in to give run help is a pretty good idea.
When you look up front, Schultz, Crocker, Pelosi, those guys really, and Landon Lamer, he plays a safety, but he plays, it's like the hybrid safety linebacker.
Yeah. We got talented guys there.
9:50 to go in the opening quarter. Wildcats with 3 wide receivers to the near side of the field. Micken is going to look to throw.
Blitzing 2, getting pressure. Good job.
Pass goes incomplete. Wildcats looking for the flag. That goes incomplete as that pass was intended for Charlie Blasco.
Again, knowing Milken's not much of a threat. He's a pocket passer. With the explosive plays that they have in their wide receivers, we don't want to give him a lot of time. So Coach Pappas was talking about, we're going to blitz 1 guy, 2 guys, maybe 3 at times just to keep him off his rhythm a little bit. And hopefully our receivers can defend for 10 or 15 yards.
Brings up a 3rd and 9. St. Ignatius 26% on third down conversions this year. Micken is going to drop back to throw. Now he steps up in the pocket, looking for the first down. He's got it as he slides to the 30-yard line, and he'll pick up the first down. That middle was wide open.
Well, that's what we talked about. They weren't worried about his legs. Maybe Ignatius knew that a little bit, and they knew that that middle was going to be open. So good job on Milken of reading that, taking the ball, and getting the first down.
We'll take a look at the replay here, and boy, it was wide open.
Man
you could have
coverage.
run through that.
Absolutely. Well, I would have been tackled 6 or 7 yards back. But
1st and 10 now for the Wildcats. Micken tried to run. He was looking for the RPO, but then slipped on the turf, and he gets lost. He gets dropped for a loss of 1 on the play. This is where St. Ignatius has shot themselves in the foot as we look at this play.
Here we go, fake handoff, just a slip. We talk about all the little things when things aren't going well for you. When you're 1 and 5, a little penalty, a drop pass, a slip, all of those things add up as we go through the course of the game.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. They're going to hand it off again, and boy, shooting through to make the tackle right there, number 36. That's Aiden Peterson. He is so quick.
So quick. What a great read from the backside. He was coming right off the linebacker spot from the backside. Great tackle.
And he had to get him down because he was on his body.
He
never hit the turf.
Didn't let go either.
3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Micken on the year, 584 yards passing, 61% completion rate. They'll go with trips to the near side of the field.
Showing some pressure here. He back off.
Here comes the blitz. There's the pass and a catch. It's going to be short of the first down as Charlie Blasco comes up with his 2nd catch of the day, his 5th of the season.
A little turnaround route about 7-8 yards down the field. I think that's a great call and a great play for Ignatius because now it gives him an opportunity on 4th down to get a first down in a short yardage situation.
Wildcats 29% on 4th down conversions.
See what St. Ed's does here. Do we attack the quarterback and kind of get up, or are we playing? You got to be careful of a deep pass right here on 4th down.
On 4th down and 2. Oh, there's a fumbled snap. He's getting chased, but he's going to pick up the first down on the busted play.
We talk about the misfortune, right? The misfortune of the bobbled snap, what Ignatius might be used to. He gathers it, and the broken play allows them to get a first down.
Well, that's clean living.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need plays like that. You get a questionable call on a penalty. The ball bounces the right way sometimes, and all of a sudden you're still in the game.
The Wildcats taking advantage of that pass interference call. That would have been a pick 6 for the Eagles as they're at the 18-yard line in the red zone. 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Eagles are up 7-0. Micken is going to drop back. Heavy rush, gets out of it, has room at the 10, and he gets nailed down at the 8-yard line. He'll be close to the first down marker.
I think he's just about a yard short. 2nd and 1. Again, they're doing a great job with our man coverage. That middle is open, and he's taking advantage of that by using his legs, something that he hasn't really done the last couple of games.
And that is what Coach Pappas is going to have to make that adjustment.
Correct. I think this is something, too, that I know Coach Pappas will make the adjustment. He's going to see what their strengths are and change up a little bit of what we do.
2nd and 1, ball spotted at the 9. They're going to hand it off on the near side. They're going to run to the outside. There's a block, and there is a touchdown for Jake Babinski. That is going to be his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Wildcats take advantage of the penalty by the Eagles and get on the board, a point away from tying it.
That's what you have to do. When you get an opportunity like this, you have to take advantage of it. Ignatius did. Offensive line did a great job of holding their blocks. Wide receiver, great block on the outside. They did a great job of mixing things up. Pass and run on that series. Kept St. Ed's on their heels. Quarterback sneaks and runs up the middle. Got to give Ignatius credit. It was a great drive.
Kyle Ritt will go for the extra point.
I think we jumped.
And we did. It was on the near side. That was Thomas that jumped. And you've talked about that extra adrenaline flowing.
Yeah.
I think that was a good point right there.
Exactly right. And here we go. Here's the first coaching thing. Do we go for 2? You got an extra yard here. Do you take advantage of the situation? I'm 1 and 5. Maybe I do that. Maybe we take advantage of that. It looks like they're going to decline the penalty and take it on the kickoff.
DJ Malik on the hold. Eagles hoping to try to bust through to make a block, as the Wildcats are just a point away from tying this ball game. 6:17 to go. Waiting for the snap. It's good. The kick is away. It is up, and it is good. 6:17 remaining. The Wildcats tie the game at 7 apiece. Well, you want to lace up for the first annual Dillon's Place 5K Run and Amp Murph Challenge happening November 9th in Westlake. Join a Run for Purpose, helping veterans find their next mission and ensuring no soldier is left behind after discharge. Visit dillonsplace.org for details. Let's run for our heroes. Well, that scoring drive for the Wildcats, it was an 11-play, 79-yard drive that took 4:53 off the clock. Coach Franzinger has to be happy with that long, extended drive.
I mean, they got to be ecstatic. And we talked about Ignatius being 1-5, but the schedule that they've played, they've had some unfortunate things happen to them. I think they were in a battle with Avon early in the season. First half played great, kind of fell apart in the second half. Obviously, last week against Benedictine, gave up some big plays and probably should have won the game. This is a team that's on the verge, and when you get to the rivalry now and you know they got talented players, this is what our coaching staff was a little bit worried about, is you give a team like this a little bit of life, you never know what can happen. And I know we haven't brought it up yet, but how about our soccer team with the 1-1 tie against the nationally ranked Wildcats just this week? And I think that was an eye-opener for our football team.
And when you look at it, Coach Moylov, that's huge for him in this program.
Huge. Ignatius was number 1 in the nation not too long ago, still top 2 or 3 in the country. Our way. The nationally ranked team, Ignatius, soccer, our soccer team almost took them down, and now the football team is probably looking as some motivation as well.
And they have tied the game with 6:17 to go in the opening quarter. And as we've said, you throw the record books out when these two teams get together. Doesn't matter in what sport. Now they're going to kick this one over to
Hackelman.
That's Hackelman. He'll bring it up over the 10-20. He's got a long run. He breaks up the field. He cuts a tackle at the 35, and he gets out to the 37. There are so many weapons back there for the Eagles returning kicks.
I guess it doesn't matter who you kick to. Broden Moore is obviously the fastest of them. Hackelman might be the most skilled, but Brandon White's the third one, and he's a stud as well.
And the Eagle kick return team with 3. Well, talk about penalties. That's the second penalty for the Eagles, and that pushes them back. Now they're playing behind the sticks.
Yep, 1st and 15 is quite different than 1st and 10.
So St. Ed's with 2 penalties for
don't
20
be surprised
yards.
here, though. Maybe we see a little misdirection, something to keep us going. Or does Coach Lombo just want to settle the guys down and maybe just get a couple runs in, because we were pretty successful with the run on that first drive.
And it's a matter of settling down. Now you got to just get into your groove, play your game. 2 backs in the backfield on 1st and 15 for St. Ed's. Ivanchik is going to give the ball to Buchanan. He'll cut to the near side, breaks 1 tackle, gets over the 25. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 26, a gain of 6 on the play. Or the 36, sorry.
Yeah, gain of 4, 2nd and 11. But again, a big difference. If we got that on 1st and 10, then it would have been 2nd and 6.
Now you're still playing behind the
correct.
sticks. 2nd down and 11. And in that Massillon game, the Eagles were playing 2nd and long in that contest.
Yep.
They want to avoid that at all costs. Single setback, Brandon White, 2 receivers to the top of your screen. Ivanchik dropping back, quick hitter, Hackelman, cutting up the field, breaks a tackle, gets to the middle at the 50, and he gets driven out of bounds on a very good play in that defensive backfield being made by Logan Drummond coming into play. Hackelman with the big reception.
One of the things I think we know we can exploit a little bit is their defensive backs, and they're playing a little soft on that. We found the soft spot. Hackelman's such a great athlete that he was able to break a tackle and get down the sideline.
Gain of 24 on the play. Eagles now in Wildcat territory. It is Brandon White looking for the hole. He gets gone. He is at the 20, and he gets taken down at the 15-yard line. Oh, he just finds the little holes in that offensive line.
Here we go. And what do we run? 3 plays. We're already all the way down inside the red zone. Brandon White is, I've got a lot to say about Brandon, hopefully throughout the course of the game, because I had him in class, and you talk about obviously one of the best backs in the state of Ohio, if not the best back, but talk about a human being and what a great young man he is. I just love seeing him have success, especially coming off the injury from last year.
Absolutely. So the Eagles will have 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. White in the backfield gets the handoff, cuts to the near side at the 10, looking for the corner. He's going to find the house from 15 yards out as Brandon White picks up his 11th rushing touchdown of the year, and the Eagles, just like that, go up 13-7.
Great blocking by our near side wide receiver right here. Brandon just pops it to the outside. Great hold on the block there. And Brandon just finished it off. He's so crafty, sees the field so well.
Even in the games last week against Bishop McNamara, it looks like he's not going to get anywhere, and then he finds room to run.
He is sneaky fast.
Will Lavelle getting ready for the extra point out of the hold. This one is up, and it is good. So the Eagles take a 14-7 lead. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for St. Ed's, brought to you by Olympic Forest Products. Next week, they will take on Football North. That is a team that defeated Massillon 2 weeks ago. Then you've got Moeller and Hoban. That's a tough back end of the schedule, Coach.
Listen, we play the best of the best, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Pretty much every sport. And I know here at St. Ed's, and being at St. Ed's for so long, we want to win every time we get on the field, on the court, whatever it is. But we also know that the postseason is pretty important. And we're always trying to prepare our teams for that run at the end of the year. And you just hope we stay healthy. This is Ignatius' schedule. And good Lord, you play us, and then you go to the current #1 team in the state, Moeller. St. Xavier, no easy task. And didn't Football North just put a whooping on Massillon?
That they did, 34-2. And Football North beat St. Ignatius last year to end the season.
This is another reason why we felt, I know our coaches, that Ignatius really wanted to get this game, because they do know that their schedule doesn't necessarily get any easier moving forward.
Will Lavelle getting ready to kick the ball away. He has it teed up high kick. It'll be taken by Bagwell. He comes in, has some room, and he's off to the races. That is Billy Cole, and he gets tracked down in the defensive backfield as Brodon Moore comes in, and you talked about the athleticism of their returners.
The one guy I talked about was this young man, Billy Cole, a sophomore. They knew he had explosive speed. He can break the game open. He did it last week against Benedictine. I think he ran one back. They were worried about him, and he just showed why. This is again, the game's changing. I mean, we just had, a 4-play, 67-yard drive, something along those lines, and here we go right back. Ignatius is inside our territory, 1st and 10.
Ball spotted at the 40-yard line as the Eagles up 14-7.
I mean, there's still 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We've got 3 scores already.
Handoff right up the middle. Big hole there. On the run was Owen Colwell, one of the captains for the Wildcats.
Similar to St. Ed's, they kind of have a 2-headed monster in that backfield, Ignatius does. So they got some weapons. And, again, we don't want to get that momentum to them. We want to try to take that away, and they're doing a good job of pounding it up our throat right here early.
The Wildcats struggled running the football last week, only 3 yards against Benedictine. They're doing a much better job tonight. 2nd down and 3, making out of the shotgun formation. High snap, bobbles it. They get it over to Colwell again. He'll pick up the 1st down as he crosses the 30 to the 26-yard line.
Again, if I'm St. Ignatius, I'm loving this. I'm trying to kill as much time as I can. I'm trying to milk the clock. I'm trying to get a couple 1st downs. I know you want to score at any time, but for them, The way our offense has looked, they want to keep the ball as much as they can.
You don't want to get into a track meet and a scoring frenzy between these two teams. Colwell again getting it, hits the hole pretty quick, and then finally taken down as he crosses the 25-yard line to the 24. Landon Leamer leading the charge along with Aiden Peterson.
That's more like St. Ed's football. You got about 6 or 7 helmets on the ball there. Guys are gang tackling a little bit. We just have to get that, rust off a little bit. We knew Ignatius was going to come out punching and fighting, and here they are. We just got to get through this first quarter and hopefully get settled down on both sides of the ball.
Gain of 5 on the play brings up 2nd down and 5. They've been in a 2nd and short situation a lot of times. Blasco goes to the tight end. Here comes the blitz, looking for the outside as Micken chases, runs out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Boy, for a guy that doesn't run the ball well, he's really running the ball well tonight.
Took the words right out of my mouth. For a sophomore, that's a heck of a read. He dropped back. Coverage wasn't there. We did a great job covering their explosive guys, and he took off right away.
And this Wildcat team is feeling more and more confident every play in this game. 1st and 10.
Every run that they can get positive, every pass play they can get positive is just building more and more confidence for St. Ignatius.
Babinski now in the backfield. He's to the left of Micken. Babinski up the middle, big hole, good blocking there by the line, and he gets down to the 10-yard line. John Troy coming in to make the tackle.
Again, a good mix of play calling here for Ignatius. Little run, little pass, getting us once again back on our heels. This is a big possession here. If Ignatius can put the ball in the end zone here, they're thinking we got a ball game. If St. Ed's can get this stop, it can turn things around.
St. Ignatius has been held to single digits in 6 of the last 7 games, and right now they're really threatening to score.
Again, what are we, 2nd and 6? A little over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter still.
And a very exciting and action-filled second quarter. The Eagles had a pick 6 negated by a penalty. Now they bring one in motion to the far side. Micken is going to look to throw. Heavy rush up the pocket, and then he finally gets caught as they'll pick up, they're going to say a loss of a yard on the play as the line coming in. John Troy leading the charge.
He looked like he had a guy getting open over the middle, but the pressure was there, kind of forced him out of the pocket. And since he's been successful with that to this point, he probably thought he had another lane there. St. Ed's did a great job of closing that down quickly this time.
3rd down and 7. St. Ignatius 1 of 2 on 3rd down conversions tonight.
This is one of those plays, if you get positive yardages, 3 or 4, you may go for it again on 4th down. If you don't, you might be looking at a field goal.
Ball spotted on the near side, hash mark for Micken. They're going to hand the ball off. No, it's Micken on a run. He's got some room. He's going to get hit at the 5, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal to go inside the 5-yard line.
They even faked you out on that one, Adam. He looked like he gave the ball there up the middle. A great fake, kind of a little taste of our own medicine, a little RPO right there where the quarterback kept it. And again, the man that wasn't known for legs is killing us with his legs.
So much for the drop back passing today. And they may have saw something in that Massillon game. Massillon's quarterback, Xavier Owens, really ran up the gut. And here is a big run, and the Wildcats are going to get on the board.
Yep, touchdown.
They're a point away from tying the ball game at 14-13.
Here's the difference on that run, Adam, that you could, I just noticed it right from their running back. He ran with a purpose that maybe they didn't have this purpose, earlier in the year, but he had his head down and he just kind of ran through 2 or 3 of our tacklers. And that's what we're talking about, a team that has some talent that's starting to build some of this confidence and play with a little bit more power and speed like they're doing right now.
1:05 remaining as Ritt getting ready for the extra point. Out of the hole to Malik. Getting ready to tie this ball game with 1:05 remaining in the opening quarter. Ritt ready. Good snap. The kick is up, and it is good. 14-14 is our score. And, Coach, there is the rule of 15 between these two teams. If the Eagles hold St. Ignatius to less than 13 points, they're 28-0. That got blown out the window. If the Wildcats score 14 points, St. Ed's is 1-3-1. If the Eagles allow more than 15 points in the game, they're 3-30.
That's a strange stat that obviously favors St. Ignatius and puts them in a good spot right now. Here we have an injured player on the extra point here for St. Ed's. I'm not sure who it is that's down.
You look at this series. This series is tied at 32-1. The Eagles have won 8 in a row, 4 games in overtime, and there was that memorable 34-33 triple overtime game. The last win by the Wildcats as they're looking to snap the streak, 2018.
Isn't that amazing, all the times that we played? It's 32-1. This is the deciding factor, at least to current times. And that triple overtime game, I still remember to this day, I was sitting in that corner of the end zone, standing behind 4 rows of people. Bobby Adams, I believe, was our quarterback, an exceptional basketball player. One of the greatest football games to this day that I've ever witnessed and ever seen. And I don't know the name or remember the name of the Ignatius receiver that caught that pass at the end of the game. But it was one of the most incredible catches that I have ever witnessed watching high school football.
And these are memorable games between St. Ed's and St. Ignatius. And as we said, 4 games have gone into overtime. And the last time a team won 8 in a row during the rivalry, St. Ed's, from 71 to 78.
The great teams back in the 70s, man.
That's
the
big
green machine, bringing out the old, what was it, a cannon or a
tank
or something that we had back in the day. That was a little, my older brothers played in that time, so I remember those days, and some of them back in the backyard on the grass field with the old bleachers, the good old days.
So this kick will go to Brodon Moore at the 9-yard line. Has the wedge. Breaks through, but he takes to the 29-yard line. So let's see. Hey, St. Ed's, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. St. Ignatius, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Only 1 minute left in the first quarter, but believe it or not, at least in my opinion, this is a big drive. Because we've looked so, I guess unstoppable is the word on offense right now.
Yeah.
For Ignatius to change the feel of this game, they need to put together a stop on defense. And if they do that, this becomes even more interesting.
Putting it in basketball terms, they're matching basket for basket.
Basket for basket right now. In a big rivalry game, though, I'll be honest with you, you kind of expect it. You kind of expect this to be a tight first half game no matter what, whether it's high scoring, low scoring. We're in for a fun one.
Now here comes Brandon White as he weaves his way to the outside, a little stiff arm for a first down, and he wisely goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line before Michael Wirtz goes in to get the tackle.
This would be like if Coach Lombardo's announcing my games and the flex is working. He would say, Coach Flan, stick with the flex because they can't stop it. Coach Lombardo right now, stick to giving the ball to Brandon White and let him run until they can stop it.
And you've had it, when you told the coaches that you're going to be working the game, every coach came to you and said they sat you down and talked with you.
Oh, we had good conversations. Coach Pappas, Coach Corcoran, Coach Lombo. I learned a lot about football. I learned a lot about our team. But I think they were a little nervous that another coach was going to be watching and commentating on this game.
Eagles on a 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. They're going to give it to White again. Cuts to the outside, gets a block at midfield. Now he stutter steps his way to the 48-yard line. He has great field vision.
I mean, he found we had a big hole to start. He extended it to the outside, and what I love about Brandon is he saw 2 guys getting ready to tackle him, and he didn't avoid them. He just went right at him.
Brandon White, 6 carries, already 90 yards for the young man. Eagles with 149 yards in total offense.
We're down to 23 seconds here, Adam. Don't be surprised if we get try to draw them off sides kind of count here, and then just take it to the end of the first quarter.
Clock down to 10 seconds. Under 10. Still have time. Clock at 4. Will they get it off before the clock hits zeros? They do. And it's Ivanchik looking to run. He breaks out a tackle. He's going to spin his way to the 40 and the 39-yard line. He'll pick up the first down, and that will end the opening quarter. 1 quarter in the books. The Battle of the Saints, all tied at 14. We'll take this time out. You are watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football, presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagles Sports Network.
$20 he shanks it. Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic, long reach, no shortcuts.
For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
Started by a father, Built by a family, proudly serving Cleveland since 1991, Franciscus Roofing has delivered honest, high-quality work starting with one truck and one promise: do the job right. From inspections to full replacements, our family-owned team brings craftsmanship to every roof.
Get your free estimate today at 1-866-STAY-DRY.com.
It's so easy if you try. 1-866-STAY-DRY. Franciscus Roofing.
Welcome back to the Madhouse on Madison. This game is all tied up at 14 as St. Ignatius, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and they tie up the ball game after a big kickoff return. You know, if you want to follow NEO Productions online, you can on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You could also catch highlights of games on the YouTube channel, as well as complete games from NEO Productions. Our producer-director is Christopher Mendoza, class of 2025. We were talking about it before the game, Eric, that you remember him as a 5th grader coming in and working basketball games, taking over for Donnie, working the camera.
He had such hopes and dreams back then, carrying your bag and following you around the gym. And that little guy, I think he probably had some expectation to even play basketball. And like many other kids, I probably ended his basketball career and dreams. And look at him now. He has been so successful. And what he has done for St. Edward Sports with his productions, and obviously I'm learning a lot now behind the scenes here, has been just something that I think all other schools are trying to emulate.
As we get ready, they're going to give the ball to Brandon White. He fights his way through. He still breaks a tackle, and he gets to the 30-yard line. He is a magician on the field.
How this young man is not getting recruited high to mid-major Division I college football, I have no idea. Maybe because he was hurt last year, but look at this footwork, just his vision up the field, avoiding tackles, and then when he has to, he runs over guys.
99 yards on 7 carries in 1 quarter and 30 seconds of the second. 2nd down and 1. Ivanchik will have 1 receiver to the near side, 2 to the left. They'll have a tight end on the near side. They bring Makovsky in motion. Little split. Now they get it to White on the near side. He gets to the 20-yard line. A little misdirection by Ivanchik on the spin move.
One of the things we were talking about earlier that I think Coach Lombardo wants to do is he wants to kind of change the eyes of the Ignatius defense. He doesn't want to be so, have them locked in on just Brandon or our running game. So he set the motion one way, faked it that way, and here Brandon was open on the weak side, just kind of changing what we do a little bit, keeping Ignatius on their heels. So this, again, may set up something as we move forward into the second half or later this quarter.
Gain of 8 on the play. Ivanchik 3 of 3 for 63 yards with a touchdown. The long one to Zach Hackelman for a touchdown from 31 yards out, the first of the game. Now they get it to Brandon White. He's got a lead block. Tries to get outside. He does. Breaks another tackle and then is forced out of bounds inside the 20-yard line as the Eagles are in the red zone.
As always, we got to give credit to our offensive line, though. They're doing a great job of clearing lanes. Put a couple guys on their back on that possession right there.
Kincaid, Menefield, Walcom, Wilhelm, and Marquardt.
You can't be a good football team without a good offensive line and or defensive line.
And you have to give credit to Coach Scanlon year in and year out working with this offensive line and the turnover.
Coach Scans he's the best. I mean, he creates such great holes. He does an unbelievable job year in and year out of a changeover of kids and players, and we continue to have what I feel is the best offensive line in the state almost every single year.
2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4. They're going to give it to Ty Buchanan. He breaks his way inside the 15-yard line. He'll be a yard shy of the first down, and Ty Buchanan has been running with a purpose. Last year, he got thrown into it after Brandon White got hurt, and his confidence got shook near the end of the year, but he's just playing with so much confidence now.
Once again, Adam, we may have the best running combination in the state because you have a guy like Brandon White, and now you go to Broden Moore, who is just as explosive, has some speed. We got guys that can do, and Aiden Buchanan, that can do so many different. Ty Buchanan.
Aiden graduated.
Yeah, my bad. Figured I'd mix up somebody along the way, but Ty's so explosive.
3rd down and 1. Handoff goes to Brandon White. Brandon White trying to get it as they move the pile. He's close to the first down. Let's see how they spot the football.
This is all on the referee's spot right here.
One referee has them at the 12.
And I'm just going to say, no-brainer. Lombo's going for it.
They're going to measure. They are going to measure for a 4th down. And the chain gang will be moving their way out on the field.
Is that still Mr. Shaver and all these guys that have been doing it for 30, 40 years?
Yep.
There's Timmy Coyne. Tim Coyne and I right there have the same birthday. God bless him.
They get the first down by the nose of the football.
I think Timmy Coyne had something to do with that. I think he shortened out the sticks a little bit, maybe took out a little chain link right there. Good job. Now we don't have to make that decision, and we free up a first down here.
And the Eagles now 1 of 1 on 3rd down conversions. Eagles will have it 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. They have moved. Here's the thing. They have moved the ball very well, but so has St. Ignatius.
Extremely well. Maybe Coach Lombardo, too, is thinking a little bit of, hey, let's slow down their offense a little bit. Let's give our defense a little bit of a break.
2 wide outs to the near side, right to the near side of Ivanchik. Little jump ball. Nope. Overthrows Hackelman in the corner.
He had him, just not enough air underneath the ball.
Coach, you've seen Zach Hackelman. He is an athlete. You saw him on the basketball court. You wish he comes back to the basketball team, but what an athlete and a young man Zach Hackelman is.
First of all, a great young man. Give credit to Mike Sweeney, one of our JV basketball coaches, got to know him in 8th grade and kind of convinced him to come to St. Ed's. And a great basketball player last year, decided to give it up to focus on football because he knows that what it was. We had a great conversation about that. This year, we talked about him coming back possibly, but it looks like he's going to have to leave school early and go to football. It looks like we have a little Wildcat formation.
It is Brandon White on the Wildcat looking for the lead. He gets to the 10, and he gets inside the 10. We've seen that Wildcat last week a couple of times.
Again, just trying to change the formation, the look a little bit, get Ignatius off their heels. I always think whenever Coach Lombardo does something on offense, it's setting something up for later in the game.
Brings up 3rd and 4 at the 6-yard line. They can get to the 3 for the first down.
Clock's still running. We're just under 9 minutes to go here in the first half.
Eagles, Wildcats tied at 14. Backs are split in the backfield.
Got nobody on the left side. 2 receivers on the right.
Now
motion to the right.
Ivanchik looking,
fake
steps
screen,
into the corner.
Throw
it up, and it's going to be a touchdown catch.
He
no.
did not hang on to it.
Oh, Makovsky could not come up with it.
That DB got his hand in it last second and ripped it from him. But what a great call. We had a slip on the guy setting the screen, the tight end. He slipped it to the back of the end zone. I'm 99% sure that was a called play. And the Ignatius DB did a great job of getting it out of his hands.
So the Eagles are going to go for the field goal. This is their first field goal attempt of the year.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
The ball will be spotted at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 23-yard field goal attempt. Make it a 24. They're going to spot it at the 13. I'm sorry. 13. It'll be a 23-yarder.
We're on the 7-yard line, so right inside the 14. Should be a 13-yarder.
First field goal attempt for the Eagles this year in the middle of the field. It's brought down. It is up, and it is good.
Good job by Will Lavelle.
So Will Lavelle coming in to get the points. The Eagles lead at 17-14. We'll take this time out. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football, presented by Olympic Forest Products and Franciscus Roofing on Ennio Productions.
Bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger and create new ways to move past injuries. See how we're advancing orthopedic care at Cleveland Clinic today.
17-14, St. Ed's taking the lead on the 23-yard field goal by Will Lavelle, the first field goal attempt by the Eagles this year.
Little Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say a little story about Will Lavelle. First of all, he's the son of Brian Lavelle, a classmate of Bobby Zaremba and I. Bobby's sitting next to me here, stat guy. The younger brother of Ben, the punter who's now at Dayton, who, if anybody followed his story with testicular cancer and how he's battled that over the years, a great story in his recovery and what he's doing right now. The Lavelle family, what a great family. And talking to Coach Corcoran, he wasn't going to kick this year until soccer was going, and he didn't kick last year, and he kicked as a sophomore. And Coach Corcoran said they had some conversations, and obviously I think we struggled a little bit in the first game, missing a couple extra points.
Yeah, in the first 2 games.
And he had some conversations with Will, and after week 2, the soccer team was on the road, so he was unable to even play the football games. But he decided to come out at week 3, and he's been our starting kicker since then. One of the captain of our soccer team after the great game we had this week with Ignatius. So it's great to have Will and another 2-sport athlete that came over and helped football, obviously in a time where they needed maybe a little bit of a boost.
Will Lavelle getting ready to kick the ball away as
I think we might want to kick away from this cold kid.
Yeah, but he's the lone setback back there.
How do we squib it?
High and short.
Okay.
It'll be taken at the 19-yard line. And a great open field tackle being made by Landon Leamer.
Great tackle.
Let's take a look at the Division I, Region I standings. St. Ed's, after the loss, they dropped. Menor was number 1. They flip-flopped after last week. Top 12 teams make it into the playoffs this year. The top 4 get a first-round bye.
There's one obvious omission there, right? The team we're playing tonight is currently not in the top 12, which again puts a lot more pressure on what they are doing and trying to accomplish.
And if they get a win against St. Ed's, that would get them probably in the playoffs.
Probably in the top 4 or 5.
So it'll be St. Ignatius down by 3, as this is the deepest that they've started in this game.
Well, we didn't kick the ball to number 20, so.
They were averaging their average starting drive at the 35-yard line. Handoff bouncing to the outside. Stiff arm there being made by Colwell. Both of these running backs from both teams love the stiff arm.
It's a solid first down run, though, for Ignatius, trying to get just some positive yards and get into short, second down, third down situations where, maybe they can get established run here. Again, a little over 8 minutes to go before halftime. I hate to say it, Adam, but I think that's more Ignatius has to feel that holding St. Ed's, even though we scored 2 field goals, is a win.
Again, they get it to the second back. That's Colwell. He'll get over the 30 to about the 32. This is a must-stop drive for the St. Edward defense.
Well, it's still, to your point, yes. I mean, it's still too early to must anything, I guess, because it's a close game. But to what we just alluded to, we were held to a field goal. Ignatius, if they feel they can score 3 back-to-back touchdowns, they're going to continue to build on that momentum and keep getting more and more positive as the game goes on.
In their scoring drives, big run backs and big plays were the big keys for the Wildcats. They'll give it to Babinski. And Babinski got taken down in the backfield by Luke Ardito.
Great stop there.
Well, we talked about it. They needed the stop, and they got it.
This looked like just a blitz from the weak side linebacker. Once again, talking about Coach Pappas sending those linebackers even on run situations to help support. And there's a loss right there, and we got him in 4th down.
Brandon White is standing back at his 28-yard line.
Here we go. We talked about this. Coach Corcoran just wants 10 yards from his return. Get a first down on the punt return if we can. So if Brandon can get it back to the 40-yard line, that would be a successful punt return for our Eagles.
Getting ready for the punt. Boy, he gets this one high. It'll be brought at the 30-yard line by Brandon White. He breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles on the sideline to the 45, and he gets his own stiff arm. And this is where you get the 2 teams going at it.
Yeah.
As
there's
the
nothing
stiff arm,
there.
the stiff arm by White against J.T. Hummer.
Well, the referee kind of looked like he was going to throw a flag, decided not to. A great block there. And here a little extracurricular. Guys just lost his helmet, got a little excited. No big deal. I love referees that kind of reach for their flags and either decide to throw them or not throw them, understanding that they might change the whole momentum of the game.
Kind of like swallowing the whistle in basketball. That return for the Eagles, 17 yards.
First down. That's what we wanted.
Brandon White again looking over to the near side, finds a hole, but he slips his way to the 50-yard line for a gain of 3 on the play.
I'm thinking we're taking a shot here in the next couple plays here. We've been working Brandon pretty hard. Maybe a little fake handoff, little misdirection, something down the field for Hackelman. What do you think, Bobby Z? Yeah, he agrees.
David Hughes coming in on the tackle, brings up a 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3. Brandon White already over 100 yards with 111. Now they bring Buchanan in motion. They give the ball to White up the middle. He finds a hole, breaks a tackle, got pushed out to the 46-yard line. It'll make it a 3rd and short for the Eagles.
Giving it to Brandon still not a bad call.
No, not at all. So, Coach, You've had a quarter and a half up here in the booth. Your thoughts of being in the booth?
I mean, I love it. People at home maybe wanting me to get off and stop talking, but this is great. This is great.
3rd down and 3. They give it to Buchanan. He cuts up the field. He got submarine.
He's going to be short by about a yard.
They're going to say he got to the 45-yard line as players on a pancake that time. That was Jack Marquardt deep in the secondary.
That's what we like to see. Little pancake down the field. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Lombo's going to go for it. Hackelman's, no, he's not in there for it. Okay, here we go.
Backs are split. They're going to give it to White. He's going to get the 1st down, and he gets more as he gets to the 31-yard line. He had to have 2 guys bring him down, Jason Thomas and Jaden Jordan.
You got a guy like Brandon White in the backfield and an offensive line like we have. I tell you what, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, there's not a whole lot of question going on, right? We're going to go for it 9 out of 10 times, and that was a great call.
Talk about the yards after contact on that play. 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 32. Eagles up by 3. Backs are split in the backfield again. We've seen this look a lot the last couple of weeks. They're going to throw, looking for Hackelman. He's wide open, and he catches it. Touchdown from 32 yards out as Zach Hackelman breaks the scoring record for a 10-game season with 11.
He just set a record. What a throw. What a catch. Right inside the pylon. If that was NFL, maybe not 2 feet in. I don't know. He was close on that sideline, but my goodness. We said maybe we're going to take a shot. There it was, breaking a record on that against your arch rival. Not a whole lot better than that as a senior.
And Zach Hackelman broke his own record for touchdowns in a season as Lavelle's kick goes up. Perfect. And it is through. The Eagles take a 24-14 lead with 4:57. Let's take a look at some upcoming games being brought to you by NAO Productions. Next week we'll have Football North. Then we'll head to Case Western Reserve as NAO Productions will bring St. Ignatius and St. X in that game. Then Moeller comes to town, and then at Akron-Hoban. These games will be on not only StEdwardEagles.com, but on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network.
What a finish.
And SIBN for St. Ignatius. So here's an Eds guy.
Yeah.
He gets a contract not only for St. Ed's, but then he gets it for St. Ignatius.
Listen, I know Ignatius might be meant for others, but we definitely take care of other people. The brotherhood at St. Ed's, the way, we just put other people before ourselves. Christopher is one of those guys, a perfect example. And, how do you feel if you're Ignatius? You're playing a great first half. You're thinking you're staying in the game, and here you are down 24-14.
That drive by St. Ed's, 5 plays, 53 yards.
And hopefully we keep it out of 20's hands here again.
High, short. Cole will get it at the 20-yard line. Goes to the outside. He's got room. He's got Lavelle to beat, and he does, but he gets taken down at the St. Edward 40. This is where the Wildcats have been successful. They get the big run, and then they score.
Once again, we kick to 20, and if it is what it is, it's a hell of a return. He's a heck of an athlete. We just did not do a great job of covering. I know Coach Corcoran talked about trying to corner him in one side of the field or the other, but it looks like we're just trying to kick it to one of the short backs, and 20 just came up and grabbed it.
44 yards on the return. His longest was 41 this year. Now the Wildcats in St. Edward territory. They give the ball to Bobinski. Bobinski gets hit in the backfield.
Fake. Quarterback still has it.
That's Micken, and nothing going there.
Again, a good play fake, but we did a great job of holding our contain. Number 47, that reminds me of one of our greats, one of the top 25, Michael O'Malley, my nephew, God bless him, Michael O'Malley. The O'Malley family, the O'Malley boys. The last one, Luke, is a freshman at St. Ed's now. 6 of them went through. Seamus O'Malley. Brendan was my manager at St. Ed's. Miles played. What an unbelievable family, starting with Danny. They're all home. They're all here, probably watching the game somewhere. God bless number 47 right there.
2nd and 9,
boy.
wide open pass is caught by O'Leary, and O'Leary gets it inside the 25-yard line.
I'd like to see a replay on that. He was wide open. I'm not sure if that was blown coverage, somebody fell down, or just a great play call. Here we go.
You asked, you
He's
received.
coming, number 11. Came right from the weak side, right across the middle, and we had nobody there. Again, like you said, maybe something that they saw in our film, a little bit of an opening or a weakness. And here they're close to our red zone already, 1st and 10.
Ball spotted at the 22-yard line. They're going to give the ball to Bobinski, and the whistle will be played dead as it'll be a timeout called by Coach Pappas and the defense of St. Edward.
He saw something there, 3.5 minutes to go. This is a huge drive. Obviously, if St. Ed's can stop them, even if we don't score, we're up 2 scores at halftime. Ignatius is really trying to get a field goal, put some points on the board to keep this a 1-possession game.
Well, St. Ignatius has scored on 2 of their 3 drives before this 4th drive. The Eagles have scored on every drive 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Well, going back to what Coach Lombardo told me during the week, too, with this whole, like, hey, we should get the clock put on them and everything, 30-point win. There's no 40-point plays in football, right? You're not going to get it on 1 drive or 2 drives. So maybe we still, get a big win. Who knows? But we've got to understand we've got to take this one play at a time. We've got to understand that, we've got to stop St. Ignatius right here on this drive alone and then let everything else take care of itself.
When you get to St. Ignatius week, how hard is to keep everybody tempered during the week?
It's hard. It's very hard. And we can get into that a little bit about the rivalry and everything else, but it's a different week no matter what anybody says.
Babinski to the left of Micken. He's going to get the handoff.
Faked it.
Nope, it's a Micken on the run. He gets up the middle, and he gets inside the 10-yard line. They had to have seen something from that Maslin film because Xavier Owens ran roughshod through the Eagle defense.
Well, we also got to remember that this guy's just a sophomore, and there's probably not a ton of film on him, so maybe he was just kind of sitting back in the pocket the first couple of games, and that's what they thought they could do to exploit it. But you're right. They found a weakness right now. It is his legs. He's reading it really well as a run-pass option. I think he's faked you out 3 or 4 times already. They're doing a great job, and now they're inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Micken is going to give the ball. It's fumbled!
There it is.
And the Eagles are going to get it.
There it is.
Inside, and the turnover picked up by BP Pelosi.
What a huge turnover, and I don't want this to come off as a negative, but this has been what St. Ignatius is right now. They're playing great. They've got a lot of talent, but there always seems to be a play or two that kind of shoots them in the foot a little bit and changes the momentum of the game. Here they are maybe going in to cut this to a 1-possession game. And here's the turnover, and now St. Ed's has the opportunity to even go up 3 scores before half.
BP Pelosi coming in with the fumble recovery for the Eagles. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 10. They're going to give the ball to Brandon White on the outside, 20-yard line, into the secondary. He fumbles the football. It's still loose, and the Wildcats are going to get it.
Well, the fortune of misfortune. We talked about it being Ignatius's way. St. Ed's, this is what they, this is the concern. The way they felt Ignatius could stay in the game or hang on is if we turn the ball over, and that's a big call. I think that was a fumble. I think he hit him right before he got down. So give the officials a credit. I think that was a good call.
Dylan Baker coming up with the fumble recovery, so each team turning it over. That's the 2nd fumble for Brandon White this year. He had that big one earlier on against Glenville.
I think we saw a big sigh of relief from the entire St. Ignatius sideline on that one. Here we go, not again, right? Everybody's probably saying, not again, not again. Here's the turnover that cost us the game. They get the ball back, they get another opportunity. Kind of like the first penalty in the game.
Yeah, that took back a pick six. They give it 2. It's going to be a run by Micken again, and he gets maybe 2 to 3 yards on the play. Aiden Peterson coming in on the tackle.
If I'm Ignatius right now, I just want to hold on to the ball. Maybe get some positive yards, maybe kill a little time, don't give the ball back to St. Ed's. Obviously, you want to try to score, do what you can, but maybe some conservative play callings. But here, we got 4 wide. How about this? They've got 14 points. We're 2 minutes left in the first half. We haven't heard Sims or Haddad's name mentioned once yet.
No, not at all. High snap. Go. It's on the turf, and It's a loss of yards. And you've talked about how at times they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yep.
Again, they do it.
And here's Coach Lombardo calling a timeout, trying to preserve some time because he knows how important maybe getting the ball back would be. It's just a high snap. I think they had what game was it early? They had
Avon.
Snap problems where
that was Avon.
And we're talking about young men here. They make mistakes, and sometimes when you make a mistake, it starts getting in your head a little bit. You know, I'm snapping the ball high. He's going to come out here, maybe snap the ball low. If you watch the Guardians, maybe remember when Scooble hit our batter in the face, and you saw how it affected him mentally. And I even said to my wife at the time, he's going to throw the next pitch in the dugout. And sure enough, he threw a wild pitch because it took him a while mentally to get over that mistake and what had happened. And these young men, you know, they're no different. So a couple mistakes, we're trying to take advantage of these. Ignatius is trying to calm it down right now. I would expect them to do one of 2 things. Take a shot. I think their field goal kicker has about a 50-yard leg, so we're going to take a shot for a touchdown. Or maybe a little slip screen, you know, to get 10 or 12 yards back and get us in better field goal position for Ignatius. St. Ed's looks like they're playing 3 or 4 back. They're playing to stop the first down right here, the touchdown and the big play.
Well, the first down needs to get to the 10-yard line. Ball is spotted at the 27. Babinski to the right. Here comes the blitz.
Yep.
Looking to throw. Underneath, they're going to be short as they extend it inside the 20 to about the 19, maybe the 18, and that'll stop the clock.
Coach Lombardo called timeout again. He wants to get this ball back no matter what they do.
Brings up 4th down and 9.
I would say that's a great call on both sides. St. Ed's was protecting, but they blitzed to speed him up, so they didn't want to give up the home run ball. Ignatius did a great job of kind of getting underneath. Now they put themselves in a position to maybe kick a field goal, or 4th and 9, we're going to go for it.
Well, okay, you're going to put now your coaching hat on.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Listen, whenever you ask that question, I hate people that have all the answers because you have to be inside your team and know your team inside and out, right? If I have a solid field goal kicker and a great kicker, and if I'm St. Ignatius right now, I'm kicking the field goal because I want to make this a one-possession game. It's 4th and 9. That's a big shot. If I'm not 100% confident in him and I feel like this is borderline range, I'm trying to maybe make a spark here and go for the touchdown. But once again, I'm a coach, and I'm not going to second-guess anything that these guys call here because they know their teams better than I do. But I'm going to go what I feel as a coach is going to put points on the board.
But wait, on some basketball broadcast, Lombo second-guesses you.
Well, he's much smarter than I am. He is way smarter than I am.
You know, I'm just trying to.
I love it. I told him I was going to rip on him, but I'm trying not to.
Well, they're going to go for the field goal. That'll be Griffin Roberts. He's 1 of 3 on field goals. They're going to spot this at the 26. It'll be a 36-yard field goal.
Watch us coming up the middle. That's where we're trying to block.
Waiting for the snap. It's low. It is up. It's got the distance, and that is going to be good from 36 plus.
Coach obviously had some confidence in his kicker. Coach Corcoran had told me that their kicking game was pretty solid. Thought their field goal kicker had a leg that could get him 45, 50 yards, and he's pretty consistent. And there he is, put it right down the middle.
That would have been good from 50.
It would have been.
With the way that distance was. So it is 24-17 as the Wildcats get on the board. And the field goal caps off the drive that took 53 turnovers. Each team with a turnover. Eagles make a stop. they get a turnover, then they turn the ball over, and it turns into 3 points.
This is why I hate and love coaching high school sports, because everybody's got the answer. You're going to blow this team out. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Well, you got to remember, we're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, right? And every game, whether it's officials, whether it's turnovers, as a basketball coach, my team might go cold from the field. The other team might have a hot player. There's so many things that go into it that can change a game. You don't just throw your team out there and expect, hey, this is what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And you have to make adjustments on every play, every minute of the game. Basketball's a little faster because you go offense to defense really fast. But I just love the people that second guess, because it's easy to do. And that's why I can honestly say I'm enjoying being up here in the booth, because if I want to second guess, I can.
Because everybody second guesses you
Correct.
on the basketball
no,
court. Well, we'll have Brodon Moore, Hackelman, and White.
Pick your poison.
From the near side to the far side. And they're going to get it.
To Moore again. Oh, kicked it out.
And it goes out of play, and the Eagles will have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Oh, there's the robotics team. They made a T-shirt cannon for this year.
Yeah, I just saw they shot one. It almost hit us in the head from down there. That thing's explosive.
Well, that's the engineering students.
Man, we got some really good ones. We have some extremely – St. Ed's a little different than it was back in the late 80s and early 90s when Bobby Z and I were there. I think Zaremba was close to valedictorian at probably a 2.9. I was probably carrying like a 2.4. Lunch was probably one of my toughest subjects. And here we have an engineering program. These kids are brilliant. IB program. The school is just in a great place.
Play action, looking.
Great play.
Makovsky getting it, but does not get out of bounds.
That's all right. First down, got down. Just under 2 minutes to go. Here's the 2-minute drill. See how Ignatius defends this, because this is huge for them. They just got it to a one-possession game. And now, if they get a stop here, there's going to be huge momentum for Ignatius going in. Here's a give to White.
Oh, there's White in the secondary. He cuts to the near side. He's at the 50, being chased by 6, to the 20, to the 5.
Oh, he's in.
And he gets in.
He is in.
Touchdown.
What a run.
Eagles, yes.
Holy cow.
68 yards. Let's take a look at this replay as he opened it up. Look at the play, Eric.
And look at he saw that he had a chance to get to the end zone right about here. Nobody was stopping him once he had that nose for the end zone. He tried to push him out there, but he kept his balance, going back to his footwork. Wow.
193 yards for Brandon White. That one a 68-yard score.
That makes up for the fumble that he just had here.
Absolutely.
That's a +4, right? In basketball, we would say, all right, you gave up a 3 with the field goal, but you scored 7 down here or 6, whatever.
That's huge. That's a huge play going into the locker room.
I mean, are you kidding me? This is what Ignatius feared, and this is what St. Ed's was hoping for.
Well, if you ever want to know what happens in the booth on a big play like that.
Got it. That was exciting.
Yeah.
Momentum for Ignatius going in. Here's a give to White.
Oh, there's White in the secondary. He cuts to the near side. He's at the 50, being chased by 6, to the 20, to the 5.
Oh, he's in.
And he gets in.
He is in. Well, we had a lot more emotion in the front of our bodies than the back of our bodies. I think I punched a couple of you guys. And that's also why I have a face for radio. I don't like to be on camera very often.
We know that. We know that. We know that. He's been trying to get you on camera for basketball pregames for years.
Listen, you guys say it's going to happen. I'm all about the kids. I want the kids to get the screen time, make sure they get the interviews. Obviously, doing the pregame interview is what we've always done. Shout out to my lovely wife of 30 years standing on the sideline over there that she's put up with this face for so long. God, this is just fun. I mean, this is, I'm going to cheer for a kick out of bounds right here with 1:30 left in the first half. We'll see what happens.
You don't want to get it to Billy Cole. He's standing at his 8-yard line.
I mean, he's sneaking up already.
Short.
Kicking it to him again.
He'll get it at the 13. Goes to the outside. Now cuts up the middle. Has some room. Gets it over the 40. He is such an explosive runner. And Coach Corcoran is going to be talking to his kick coverage team.
You know what? I think I might go down and have a conversation with Coach Corcoran and his kick coverage team here at halftime. I'm just kidding. I think they're just working on some things. They narrowed the field down. They only have one returner right there. I wonder if it's a little different today. Lakewood Stadium, the wind usually goes this way, and we just saw their kicker boom one that could have went 50 yards, which would normally go into the wind.
Right.
And our kickoffs have been short going this way. I wonder if we just can't see the wind.
Well,
from where
looking
we're at.
at, looking at Old
dead,
Glory,
the
flag is dead. 1st and 10 at the 39. Micken is.
That was looked like a broken play there.
A busted play and no gain. A loss of maybe 6, 7 yards. Pelosi coming in again on the stop. I don't know if it was supposed to be a jump pass or.
It looked kind of funny. I will say Ignatius should take advantage because they've been moving the ball. But with us having no timeouts, maybe getting into halftime just down 2 scores, I don't know. But if I'm them, I'm trying to take a shot somewhere.
Sims and Takancic are your receivers to the near side.
Again, have we heard Sims's name or Haddad's name yet?
Not at all.
Once.
Micken has run the ball very well, but they're going to run the football again. They get it off to Owen Colwell. He'll get it back to the 40-yard line, and they may get one play remaining here in the first half.
Again, agree to disagree. I'm not sure. I think I would try to take one shot here. Maybe they take it here. I know they're a little skeptical to punt the ball to even give us a running play up the middle because Brandon White just broke a big play. So I understand. I understand what they're trying to do, try to get to halftime here. But their offense has been pretty good.
3rd down and 10. They are 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Big hole, and it should be a first down depending on where they spot it.
There's only 5 seconds left. They're not stopping the clock right here. They didn't give them the first down. I kind of thought maybe Ignatius would call timeout and take a shot, but they did not.
That was a yard shy, and we are at the half. St. Ed's 31, St. Ignatius 17. We are going to step aside. You're watching Olympic Forest Products. St. Edward High School football presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagles Sports Network and Ennio Productions.
$20 he shanks it. Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic. Long reach, no shortcuts.
For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick dominates as Ohio's powerhouse personal injury law firm. For 2 decades, K&R has been relentless in our pursuit of justice, battling the big insurance companies and securing some of the largest settlements in the Buckeye State. We forged our way to the top by taking on the toughest cases and treating every client like they're our only client. Hurt in a car? Call K&R, Ohio's largest injury law firm, at 1-800-HURT-NOW.
When bettering lives is what you live for, you treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger and create new ways to move past injuries. See how we're advancing orthopedic care at Cleveland Clinic today.
At Joyce Buick GMC, serving the community for nearly 60 years means offering the best service and deals in town.
Check out our great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles.
We are receiving truckloads of new vehicles and fresh trade-ins daily.
Visit us today for our lowest prices and great selection.
And that's why people say, drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Ohio, are you ready for Monsters, The Fury, and The Charge? Are you ready to finally watch sports the way they should be? Free Rock Entertainment Sports Network, The Rock, 24/7 access to local Ohio sports and entertainment. No cords, no apps, no subscriptions. Every level of competitive sports, from high school to the pros. Live for viewers across Ohio. Watch The Rock now on Channel 22.1 or Spectrum 979.
Golf can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic.
Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough.
And no Michigans needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole.
Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
Started by a father, built by a family, proudly serving Cleveland since 1991. Franciscus Roofing has delivered honest, high-quality work starting with one truck and one promise: do the job right. From inspections to full replacements, our family-owned team brings craftsmanship to every roof.
Get your free estimate today at 1-866-STAY-DRY.com.
It's so easy if you try. 1-866-STAY-DRY. Franciscus Roofing.
Being in Esmond is all about brotherhood, a diverse community where everyone has your back.
It's an education for the future, showing us how we can all make a difference in the world.
It's about top-tier athletics, pushing us further than we ever thought we'd go.
We invite 8th grade families to experience Holy Cross hospitality at Open House on Sunday, October 5th. See you there.
Tyler, tell John the stats are on their way. Tell John and Dan that the stats are on their way. And welcome back to the Madhouse on Madison, First Federal Lakewood Stadium, as St. Ed's leading at 31-17. Special guest in the booth, Casey McKenna of St. Ed's. It's been a while since we've had you up here in the booth.
I know, I'm glad I came up on a night where it's so empty up here. Jeez, it couldn't be more crowded.
Now, we always talk, this is a big weekend for St. Ed's. First, the game.
Yeah.
And then second, open house on Sunday.
Yeah, we have our first open house for prospective students on Sunday from 10 to 1. We're really excited to welcome prospective families to our campus. I'll tell you, our campus has never looked as good as it does right now. And our crew does an amazing job just putting together an awesome environment for kids to go to school. But more importantly than that, open house is not about buildings, it's about people. And so we want everybody to come out and get the opportunity to meet all of our wonderful faculty and coaches and moderators of all these great clubs that we have and see if St. Ed's is a fit for them.
And then you were saying that this incoming the freshman class right now, the biggest since the class of 26, right? Is that how?
Yeah, so it's our largest class since '85, and so it's our largest class in 40 years, which we're so excited about. I mean, there's a huge amount of interest in St. Ed's right now, and I will tell you what it looks like for the class of 2030. And I'm a parent of an 8th grader in the class of 2030. Our metrics are all way up. And so lots of kids want to come to St. Ed's right now, which we're so excited about. So,
and for me, being a parent of a graduate of St. Ed's, to me it showed what kind of an education that a kid will get at St. Ed's. You know, Christopher over here to our left is a good example. Doing something different, not the norm. He's, but he found his own niche at St. Ed's.
Well, and that's what we're so great at is. I tell parents all the time, we want to be the best school in the world for your son. And it's different for every kid. We have 940 kids, and the definition of the best school is different for all 940 of them. And we come to work every day saying, how do we make this the best place in the world for all 940? And it's a very personalized brand of education. It's very nuanced, but we have a lot of success with it. And you see that success in a game like tonight's game, and certainly we're watching a football game, but I wish that everybody watching tonight knew just how great these young men on this football team are. So I get the opportunity to see them every day, and when you think about the stars of this team, and understand, like we have a perception that the stars of a football team are a certain type of kid. Well, our best kids are our best kids, and it's so great to watch them have the success that they do. Every time Brandon White or Zach Hackelman scores a touchdown, I think to myself, man, what just two incredible kids. Johnny Ivanchik, wonderful kid, and it goes down the line. And so I think it speaks to the culture that Tom Lombardo has created. I don't think there's a better coach in the state of Ohio than Tom Lombardo. And the reason why, certainly it's the X's and O's, but it's the culture that he's established in that program.
Once again, if people are interested in the open house this coming weekend.
Yeah, open house on Sunday from 10 to 1. You can go online and get more information, sehs.net/open house. You can pre-register, or you can show up. We're going to be happy to welcome you to our campus and show you all the great things that St. Ed's has to offer.
Well, Casey McKenna joining us here at the half. Always a pleasure to have you here.
I love it, Adam.
Every time. And, hey, look, we got Coach Lombardo in the booth, too.
Well, Coach Flan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. He's like Coach Lombardo. He's just not as good looking, right?
We're going to take this time out as St. Ed's leads at 31-17. You're watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward Football, presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagles Sports Network.
Can be tough.
Kind of like managing your supply chain without Olympic.
Luckily, we know how to hit out the rough.
And no Michigans needed. I mean, mulligans. You sure about that, Reed? I've got this. It's in the hole.
Let's go!
At Olympic Forest Products, we know that feeling. For over 40 years, we've helped businesses avoid the hazards to sink long putts. Olympic Forest Products. However difficult the shot, we've got your back.
until it was covered by the Isley Brothers and later the Beatles. Featuring our outstanding color guard and majorettes, the Marching Eagles are proud to present their version of the classic Twist and Shout. To get anyone pumped up. Upon release, this track only topped at 84 on the charts in the U.S., but its popularity slowly increased over time, and it was recently voted as the third best Queen song by Rolling Stone magazine. This is Don't Stop Me Now.
Today's game is being brought to you by Olympic Forest Products, consistent, reliable, built to go the distance. By Franciscus Roofing, Cleveland, Ohio's trusted name in roofing. Joyce Buick GMC, drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do. By Tokar & Company CPAs, your local and full-service accounting firm. By J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick, hurting a car, call K&R. And by the Cleveland Clinic, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. 31-17 is our score. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights, as we had a lot of them, and it started with St. Ed's going to Hackelman.
Again, good start. Obviously, we had a great run game, but being able to connect there was pretty awesome.
And then you've got the run there being made by Babinski to tie the game up. Then the Eagles again, they go to Brandon White. He picks up his second touchdown as the Eagles went on top. But St. Ignatius matched it time and time again, and then Hackelman again breaking the record.
Brandon White's all time? How many yards does he have? 300 and some all-purpose yards and over 190 rushing yards is pretty remarkable for the first half. He might be breaking some records tonight as well.
Well, he's got, as you said, 353 all-purpose yards. You look at the numbers right there. St. Ignatius has run the ball very well, 115 yards, and a lot of it is to their quarterback, Micken.
St. Ignatius has to be a little frustrated because they played pretty well that first half, and they're down 2 scores. That's got to be something that kind of hits you in the gut a little bit, that, hey, we put up 17 points, and here we are. We gave up 31, and a couple of those on quick hitters, especially by Brandon White. Our
stats brought to you by Tokar & Company CPAs, your local and full-service accounting firm. We're going to stop and take a timeout. 31-17, St. Ed's with the lead over St. Ignatius. You're watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward High School football presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagle Sports Network.
$20 he shanks it. Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic, long reach, no shortcuts.
For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
Started by a father, built by a family, proudly serving Cleveland since 1991. Franciscus Roofing has delivered honest, high-quality work starting with one truck and one promise: do the job right. From inspections to full replacements, our family-owned team brings craftsmanship to every roof.
Get your free estimate today at 1-866-STAY-DRY.com.
It's so easy if you try. 1-866-STAY-DRY. Franciscus Roofing.
Quick thought, first half, Dane Donovan was the quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good thought to have. No wonder the guy was running so well. The junior quarterback was... No wonder his legs were – maybe our defensive coordinator didn't realize it either, and that's why he was scoring so many points. I was just going off of the number and seeing what it was, but, he was out with an injury early in the season.
Yeah, he was.
And they brought him back, and obviously he's been pretty explosive. I know talking to Coach Pappas before the game this week, he was saying they were going to be prepared for all three, and was probably more surprised that the senior, Chalab, wasn't playing, even though he's been on injured list as well.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the second half as St. Ed's leading it 31-17. You're watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward football presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagle Sports Network.
$20 he shanks it. Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic, long reach, no shortcuts.
For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
Started by a father, built by a family, proudly serving Cleveland since 1991. Franciscus Roofing has delivered honest, high-quality work starting with one truck and one promise: do the job right. From inspections to full replacements, our family-owned team brings craftsmanship to every roof.
Get your free estimate today at 1-866-STAY-DRY.com.
It's so easy if you try. 1-866-STAY-DRY.
Franciscus Roofing.
31-17, St. Ed's with the lead as we are still at the half. In the second half, it'll be St. Ignatius getting the football to start it.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and put together a drive early. Let's see. Talking to Coach Pappas during the week, he did talk about the opening kickoff. He felt like his teams this year were not doing a great job coming out of halftime with a lot of energy. Some of that was because we had a big lead and so on. But obviously, Cole here, number 20, has been dominating these kick returns. So let's see if we, first adjustment of the game, are we going to continue to kick to him and maybe we're okay with that? Or are we going to try to find somebody else?
St. Ed's on explosive plays, 6 runs for 152 yards, 3 receiving explosive plays for 87. For St. Ignatius, 2 explosive plays for 35, none passing. Coleman falls down and he is, and again, it's that mistake that they make.
A little footwork there, and again, I'm talking about the wind. How do we kick it this way and we got it all the way to the goal line, and that way we're only kicking it to the 20? Just something to keep an eye on as we're going through the course of the game. But here we go. We kicked it to him, but I think we were trying to get it out of the end zone there.
Maybe it was the smell from the Euro place wafting over, knocking the ball down.
That is very possible, very possible. But a big break for St. Ed's as now we got them backed up on their own 4-yard line to start here in the second half.
Well, the Eagles outscored St. Ignatius 17-0 in that second quarter as the Wildcats, with Dane Donovan, the junior quarterback, hands the ball off, and another big run on the tackle.
Be 2nd and 5.
Well, coming in to make the tackle for, that's Josh Weber coming in to make the stop after the run. Big pickup of 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, that's huge. Trying to get some distance here, and they're trying to establish the run game a little bit here, kill some clock. But now you're put into a tough situation, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.
They pick up a yard to get it to the 11-yard line. As we said, St. Ed's with 335 yards in total offense.
Now this is a big play to start the second half. Because if Ignatius has to punt deep in their own territory right off the bat with a minute gone in the second half, St. Ed's can really put the foot on the gas here if they don't get this first down.
Trey Haddad is part of the trips formation on the near side. Donovan out of the gun. Here comes the blitz. Handoff up the middle. Nothing going at the 10 as the Eagles come in and hitting hard. Brendan Schultz.
Big stop right there, and I think Ignatius has no choice but to punt here, stuck in their, kicking from their own end zone. This is a tough way to start for them.
He was not even touched coming in from that right side.
Not at all. Great defense. Again, our run blitz is working really well. Now we got 2 guys back.
Hackleman and Brandon White back.
Trying to get that first down 10 yards. Let's see if we can't get this inside the 30, 35-yard line on the return.
Eagles need to be careful not to hit the kicker because that'll give St. Ignatius a first down.
As much as we want a punt block here, I'm not sure we're going to be too aggressive going in.
Coming in on the punt is J.T. Hummer. Oh, he shanked it off the side of his foot.
Well, that's as good as a block kick almost, and that's a first down return of 30 yards. I think he got it inside the 19, 20-yard line right here.
Coach Flan, I know you play a lot of golf. Is some of your golfing partners kind of hit the ball like that?
Yeah, one in particular. I think he's from Ignatius. Well, McKenna was my partner, and my good friend Kevin Neitzel. We had a match this past week, and Mr. McKenna and I took him and David Corey down, a St. Ed's grad. So the Ignatius rivalry started early this week. We went to a nice course, and I think they want a rematch now because Neitzel's golf shot kind of looked like that.
That's
shank.
why I put that there, because I know how
Appreciate
you and Neitzel
Appreciate the setup.
Go after each other.
He's the head golf coach at Ignatius, so wish him luck down in the playoffs.
There's Brandon White. He blasts through the line of scrimmage as he gets it to the 10-yard line. He'll pick up 9 on the play, make it 10-11.
Well, he's over 200 yards now carrying, right?
Yes, he is, once we get our stats.
And we're just under 10 minutes in the third quarter, and here we got a running back that's got over 200 yards rushing.
Unbelievable. There is a timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout. St. Ed's 31, St. Ignatius 17. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagles Sports Network.
Bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger and create new ways to move past injuries. See how we're advancing orthopedic care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Welcome back. 31-17 after the timeout, and the injured player for the Wildcats, that's number 56, Luke Spinos. He's a big player for the Wildcats.
Anybody going down, especially a starter, puts a little different perspective on what you're doing as a coach and what you're trying to accomplish. But here we go. St. Edward inside the 20 already. I think we got a 2nd down and 1 with 9:46 to go here in the first or third quarter. Another big, again, Ignatius can change the game a little bit if somehow they get a turnover or stop and they keep it within 2 scores. Right now, St. Ed's is looking again to keep that foot on the gas and extend this lead to 3 touchdowns, which would be obviously tough for Ignatius in this situation.
Brandon White, 202 yards, averaging 13.5 yards a carry. Every time he touches it, he gets a first down. Brandon White again, big hole, goes to the corner, and he gets stood up and stopped at the 2-yard line.
It looked like he just threw him down, stopped. I thought he was still in bounds and was going to walk into the end zone, but he was out of bounds on that one. Look at this, the great blocking. It all starts with the offensive line. Our receivers are doing an unbelievable job. And
he's like, get off me.
Brandon just said, get off me, and threw him into the I got great story on Brandon White that I don't know if I have time to share right now, but we'll share during the game just about who he is as a person and a student.
Ty Buchanan coming in. Backs are split in the backfield for the Eagles. They get it to Brandon White. Cuts upfield, and they're going to call him short inside the 1-yard line. Well, we got that time.
Well, Brandon, again, I had him in health class last year, and he walked into my class, and I have no idea who this young man is other than, I heard he's a decent football player. He came and sat in the front row, right in the middle. Yes, sir. No, sir. And I thought the first 2 days you're like, okay, this guy's putting on an act. You're a big timer. I get it, whatever. The entire semester, entire quarter, yes, sir, no, sir. First guy in the class, cleaning up the classroom, doing everything the right way and leading by example. What a wonderful young man.
It'll be an easy run as Brandon White picks up his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night.
And as you can see, as I've told many guys, this is why this is a young man to follow. Not only is he a success on the field, he's a success off the field. And maybe a little hold there by the Eagle offensive lineman. If you watch that replay, we tackled a few guys there, but letting some things go. And another touchdown for Brandon White.
Eagles leading it now 37-17. Will Lavelle getting ready for the extra point as they get a man late out onto the field.
Missing somebody on the left side there.
And they bring, that's Joe Moore. Kick is away, it is up, and it is through the uprights.
Well, somebody's getting an airful on the sideline here. Maybe somebody screwed up and was supposed to be in on that extra point.
38-17, St. Ed's with the lead as Brandon White, 18 carries, 212 yards. Now he's just averaging 11 yards a run.
Unreal.
Wow. I'm looking through some of our records to...
You look through that. I'm going to do a couple shout-outs to people because obviously when I found out that I was going to be, doing this game, I get all these people that say they want a shout-out. But in all seriousness, walking in, I heard the Bova family and the Yursich family down at Ohio State. Everybody's down there watching the game. They're having a good time, but they said they'd be on the stream. They'd be checking this thing out, so I hope they're listening. I hope they're all together. Great basketball guys. Chris Barilli, Eagle Concrete out of Strongsville. He's doing some work for me right now. And his work is unbelievable. Former player, class of 98. You got to give Chris a little bit of love. He does tremendous work there. Brian Haransky in San Diego, California. Another former player. His dad, Ted, is doing subbing at St. Ed's. We see him almost every other day. A St. Ed's grad, a Notre Dame grad. His son, Brian, is hugely successful down in San Diego. We got people all over the country and all over the world watching and listening. So this is fun to connect. And obviously my good friend Bobby Zaremba sitting right next to me. Can't get any better than that.
So the Eagles, after the score, 38-17, it was a 4-play, 19-yard drive. As this kick goes into the end zone, that was Jonah Koopman. And for Koopman, that's his 13th touchback of the year.
That's our deep ball kicker when we have the wind. So, again, I'm telling you, the wind is blowing harder than we think going that way, and we just kicked it twice into the end zone. We're going this way. We kicked it only to the 30.
So the Wildcats will have the ball 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. They have 152 yards in total offense, only 31 yards passing. They've run the ball very well on the legs of Dane Donovan.
Well, because obviously they have a great running quarterback that we missed a little bit in the first half thinking it was the sophomore, but we thought there was a change number. So fairness to us, we thought that they changed some numbers and it was still the sophomore, but Donovan's been awesome running the football here.
Now they give the ball off to Bobinski, or make that Colin Owell, and he'll bounce it to the outside for a couple of yards.
Again, still not – I know we don't have the throwing quarterback per se, but Sims and Haddad have been held in check, and those are two of their most explosive players throughout the season. Hopefully they don't get going. We're doing a great job of containing them and containing their quarterback.
3 of 4 passing, 2 catches by O'Leary, 1 by Blasco.
So they don't even have a catch yet, either one of them.
And not even an attempt thrown to. Well, here could be the change. And
that's a backward pass, I believe.
And the Eagles took advantage of that against Huber Heights Wayne earlier in the year.
Did a good job putting pressure. That looked like a backward pass, but maybe not.
Boy, second guessing the officials,
well,
Coach.
Yeah. There's not official I don't not like off the court or field. I don't know if I said that right. But
3rd down and 8. You get along with all the officials.
Oh,
it's
sure
your brother that has the problem.
That's
and
right.
He gets the
he
technicals.
got a technical this year. That guy's kind of a loudmouth on the bench.
3rd down and 8. Donovan is going to bring one in motion. Looking to go downfield. Heavy rush.
Great
Donovan
play.
on the run, getting chased. Throws it out of bounds wisely.
Smart play by him.
On the chase was Landon Lamer.
Landon Lamer's pretty fast. Did you see him track him down like holy smokes?
Lamer came into this game 67 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and an interception. Last week, he had 9 against Wayne, he had 9 solo tackles. Okay, we got Brandon White and Hackelman back to receive at their own 40. Wildcats need to get a good snap. They do. Kick away. It'll bounce. Hackelman runs away from it as it will go out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Eagles with decent field position. Their average starting spot, the 37.
Well, we've had some great kickoff returns and punt returns. So credit to our special teams on that side of the ball because they've given us some great field position to start.
So out on the field for the Eagles, they'll have Makovsky and Koopman as a couple of the wide receivers.
Well, do we burn some clock and try to run it up a little bit with Brandon White, or do we take a shot here to kind of...
He dots the eye in the pistol.
Here we go.
Let's see if he gets it. They bring one in motion. Brandon White bouncing to the outside. Shy of the first down as he gets driven out of bounds.
On the play.
At the 46. Flag thrown. A lot of times that's a hold. As the official comes over, it's going to be a holding call on St. Ed's.
Well, typically when you watch these games, I think a referee can throw a flag for holding on 50% of the plays. Sometimes it's just the obvious ones that they pick up. Maybe it's the situational, but I think that was our first
That's
holding
the first
penalty.
of the that's the first holding. Our referee is Anthony Montana. We had a personal foul, roughing the passer. We had
false start,
and the first hold of the ball game.
Yep.
So that'll push him back.
Like when referees kind of let the kids play the game, even though you're supposed to make calls. If it does affect the goal. Yeah,
only 3 penalties in this game, and St. Ignatius with no penalties called on them. Hackelman going in motion, but they're going to give the ball to Brandon White. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. and picks up the lost yardage.
Here's what I love. I love seeing our offensive linemen 8, 9, 10 yards down the field with an Ignatius guy underneath them. That is St. Edward football right there.
That's Jamal Menafield. Coach, you've seen some of the linemen that have come through St. Ed's. You had the triple gargantuans and the Armstrong twins and Roebuck. It doesn't get any smaller here.
No, it doesn't. We got big young men in our building, and I'm always amazed walking through that weight room. I think our basketball guys sometimes are doing well and big, and then we see our football guys, and it's not even close. And here we go, wide open down the middle.
Oh, wide open is the catch by Joe Moore. He's going to get the first down as he gets it into St. Ignatius territory. That's his 7th catch of the year.
Great job sharing the wealth there. Our tight end right down the middle was wide open. We obviously saw something there and exploited that for a big gain.
He came into this game with 2 touchdowns, averaging 17 yards a catch.
Again, if you're Coach Lombardo, you're probably thinking, listen, and this is me, right? Even if I have a decent lead, I am not slowing up here. I am making sure that we're, finishing strong. We're going to extend this lead right here if we can. We're going to stick with our game plan, and there we are with Brandon White up the middle.
And he'll get it to about the 27-yard line, over 200 yards this evening.
Just looks like we're wearing them down a little bit. Our offensive line has definitely got a good push today.
And imagine in the first quarter, we were tied at 14.
Yeah.
It was drive, score,
It goes back to what Coach Lombardo told me. We're not going to – there's no 40-point plays, right? We have to make sure that we slowly and methodically take care of business. It might be close early. It's tied. We got to try to extend this team, and hopefully the better team eventually will take over as the game goes on.
263 yards on the ground by the Eagles. Brandon White with 226. High snap brought down. Brandon White getting it. Goes to the heart of that defensive line, and he'll pick up the first down.
So I don't want to get into any jinxing here, but what is the record rushing? It's got to be my guy Chris Williams back in the day.
Yes, and Chris Williams ran for 368 yards. That record was set against Berea in 1986.
I grew up watching Chris Williams, Chris Mobley, Danny Andrews, some of the greatest backs in St. Ed's history. They continue to just come around. Rayshon Stover getting inducted. Here we go.
Hackelman in the corner. He caught it!
Touchdown.
And there's a pass interference
they called a push-off.
Let's wait and see. Will the touchdown stand? It's going to be against St. Ignatius.
Okay. Oh, wait. Did he point the right way? Nope. He called it on Hackelman.
So take the touchdown off the board.
As I'm watching, I saw Hackelman did extend his arms. The referee made a call towards St. Ignatius first, but I think he changed it to St. Ed's. But I don't know. He's pointing both sides. What's going on?
Well, we'll get the call from Mr. Montana.
They called. No, they called it on St. Ignatius. He kept going back and forth. Even Hackelman was all upset. Like, what's going on? We need a replay of that one, Chris. I don't know. Okay.
4:32, and the Eagles go up 44-17.
Good. We can't see that Hackelman pushed off on that one to get that touchdown. You got to do what you got to do. That was awesome.
Will Lavelle.
They did. Yep. Both guys pushed each other.
Will Lavelle comes in, gets the point after, and St. Ed's with a 45-17 lead as our crack staff since the last St. Ignatius win against St. Ed's was 2,534 days ago, back to 2018. And this is what happened in that time. The Washington Nationals and the Toronto Raptors won their first titles. The New England Patriots dynasty ended. Tiger Woods won the Masters, and Ohio State beat Michigan.
Jeez, oh man. This has got to be something like Connor Donnellan statistics or something, and Christopher Mendoza. These guys, yes, Connor comes with these once in a while. Hey, we're on a roll right now, right? And things are going our way. And being the basketball coach, I know how things can change. How Ignatius, obviously we have such an amazing rivalry. And I don't know if we get into that enough or too much sometimes. when I coach USA basketball around the world, it's kind of funny. We talk about where do people go to school, right? And everybody around the world, they talk about in the country, they talk about what colleges they went to. But we all know here in Northeast Ohio, when somebody asks you where you went to high school, it's either St. Ed's or St. Ignatius, and that's kind of what we're proud of. We grow up with each other. We grow up playing against each other, with each other. We go to different high schools. Some of my best friends today are St. Ignatius grads. I'm looking at Mark Ruddy over there as a coordinator for St. Ignatius is in one of my classes. It's just great.
Short kick taken by Cole. Breaks the tackle out to the 15, flag thrown. And I don't know, the ball was at the 45, and they didn't kick it into the end zone.
Uh-oh, here's a little squibble. I'm pretty sure the Ignatius guys are getting a little frustrated here.
That was number 9, Luke Sims. And I believe that was Brodon Moore.
Well, once they threw one flag here, it seems
it started raining flags.
4.5 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Block to the back on St. Ignatius. And no call on the tussle.
No.
Here's the replay.
So there was the block in the back. Maybe a little late here, but where's
and then you got the tussle.
They're going
afterwards.
in the middle, and he comes after. Maybe there was a push. Somebody saw it. Sims is coming after our guy a little bit. Our guy's doing a good job of backing up there. I'm not sure what number that was. This is some of the stuff you want to avoid as a coach, too. You got to make sure you settle your guys down on both sides of the field. St. Ed's obviously doesn't want to have anybody injured, kicked out, any of that stuff. Got to keep your composure, both sides.
It'll be the handoff. Big run, but then gets squashed pretty quickly. Owen Colwell with the run. He'll pick up first down. Big run there.
That looked like one of their runs early in the game.
Yeah.
First 2 series, they did a great job of passing and running there.
This game was tied at 14 in the first half. St. Ed's 31 unanswered points.
Yeah, crazy. They kicked that field goal to get within one score, Ignatius did, and it's kind of snowballed since there.
So here come the Wildcats. They bring one in motion. Run to the outside. Big run. And a big hit being taken by John Troy on Owen Colwell.
Nice to see our guys are still hitting. Ignatius guys are pointing that they got a first down, maybe because they haven't gotten one in a long time.
Boom. Wow. Heat-seeking missile that time. And again, the running of the Wildcats getting them out of deep trouble.
Yeah, it's 2 good runs. And again, that looked, like we said, a couple of their first couple drives. What do we have here? Oh, talking about hit to the head. I think they're just warning them about a hit to the head or high hit. And I'm sure guys are yapping in there.
Ball's fumbled.
There's the loose ball.
And it's picked up by Dane Donovan. And then he got hit into last week.
I hate to say it, but it kind of looks obvious as I'm watching this game right now. St. Ed's is still playing with a ton of energy. They're playing explosive. Ignatius is kind of just looking like a team that's defeated. You see guys just standing around watching. A little half-hearted here right now, and it's one of those things as a coach that you just don't want to see. You want to see your guys fight till the end.
Aiden Peterson coming in to make the hit, to make the stop. They give the ball. Nope, it's a little pass to the outside.
Call there.
It is caught by O'Leary, and he'll get it over the 35 to the 37. O'Leary, his second or third catch of the night. And again, no Haddad, no Sims.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I do, going back to what Coach Pappas said too, is he thought their game plan was going to be more a lot like this. The little fake handoffs, the little dump offs to their tight end or wide receivers coming back, and that was an example. That was a great call. They pick up 7 or 8 yards right there and try to get it to a third and manageable here with about 2.5 minutes to go in the third.
Luke Sims is on the far side, one-on-one with Braylon Adams.
I'd be worried about Haddad right here at the bottom of the screen.
And he is in single coverage with Makai Boone. and it's going to be Donovan running the football. He'll get it over, and he'll pick up the first down into St. Edward territory.
Well, just after I said Ignatius looked a little half, this guy's putting the team on his shoulders right now. That's a great run for a first down, little fake handoff, read option. He basically carrying 3 or 4 guys for an extra 5 or 6 yards. You got to give him a lot of credit right there. Keeping the play alive, getting them a first down, and now they're in St. Ed's territory. When was the last time? I'm assuming off of our turnover, maybe.
Donovan with 52 yards rushing the ball. Out of the shotgun. Handoff goes to Babinski. He gets hit in the backfield and gets dropped. John Troy once again. John Troy 3 weeks ago came in for an injured Luke Ardito, and he's done such a great job.
It's amazing. Next man up mentality, right? And guys just getting an opportunity to play and prove themselves, and he did it right there. And once again, we just seem to be getting that penetration on just about every play now at the line.
In 3 games, 29 tackles, 2 for losses. He had 11 tackles last week, 18 in his first game.
Pretty good stats there.
2nd down and 12 as the Wildcats play behind the sticks.
Dropping back a little bit, expecting a pass.
Empty backfield, run by Donovan. And he gets
There's
wrapped
a
up.
fumble. Ball is out. It's our ball.
St. Ed's will recover as it's fumbled at the 45-yard line. And coming up with the football is Gavin Dubinsky.
Again, you can't. The quarterback's fighting for every yard. A little spin there, and we just get a hand on the ball, knock it out. I'm not sure what number knocked that ball out, but a great play on defense. And I hate to say you can't really fault this quarterback. He's the one that's kind of putting it all on his back and fighting for every yard. And he's competing. He's competing to the end, and you got to like that if you're a St. Ignatius fan or coach.
Ty Buchanan now out on the field as Brandon White, 233 yards on 22 carries. Now they're going to look to throw. Stop, go route on the near side. Spin move by Hackelman before he's driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line. He is so athletic.
He so is. He's so skilled. You think of the skill first, and then you add his athleticism. A little reminder of a Montori Foster that played basketball for 3 years and then decided to play football for 1 year and got a full ride to Michigan State. Zach Hackelman has the same athleticism, same hands, great body. Again, he's going to a great school. I believe he's going to Toledo. I could see even bigger schools coming in because of who the athlete he is, what a great player, and can't say enough about Zach and his family.
They'll bring one in motion, high snap, Buchanan. Nope, it's going to be Ivanchik getting it. He gets wrapped up by James Conrad at the 42-yard line.
That should be the last play of the third quarter.
And that will be the last play, where we have 3 quarters in the books, 1 more to go. St. Ed's with a 45-17 lead. You're watching Olympic Forest Products, St. Edward High School football, presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagles Sports Network.
$20 he shanks it. Yeah, this is going to be out of bounds to Michigan.
Some people play it safe, others grip it and rip it.
That's why I call long drive right down the fairway.
Just like Olympic, long reach, no shortcuts.
For over 40 years, Olympic's been hitting it long and straight, delivering dependable, high-quality pallet solutions with national coverage and local service.
Fairways and freightways. Keep it straight, keep it consistent.
Olympic Forest Products. Consistent, reliable, built to go the distance.
Started by a father, built by a family, proudly serving Cleveland since 1991. Franciscus Roofing has delivered honest, high-quality work starting with 1 truck and 1 promise. Do the job right. From inspections to full replacements, our family-owned team brings craftsmanship to every roof.
Get your free estimate today at 1-866-STAY-DRY.com.
It's so easy if you try. 1-866-STAY-DRY. Franciscus Roofing.
As we get set for the 4th quarter of play, St. Ed's with a 45-17 lead. And the numbers that they put up, 441 yards in total offense.
It's been a pretty impressive night by both sides of the ball. St. Ignatius obviously showed a lot of grit there in the first half and putting some points on the board. But you can talk about the records that we're possibly about to set here. People were talking about a running clock before the game. If we do score, we might get there, which would speed things up. But selfishly, I don't want it. I want to stay here longer with you and spend a little bit more time here in the booth.
Yeah. Now you're kissing up to me. That's a first in my 19 years
correct,
here.
Correct.
Well, the Eagles have 45 points. The most that they've scored against St. Ignatius is 48. That was in 2022 when the Eagles won 48-6. The 17 points scored by St. Ignatius is the most since 21 when they scored 14.
Well, you talked about that 13 rule or whatever it was earlier. It looks like we're going to break that jinx a little bit here too. But let's get the record. Let's first focus on how about one more score to not only get the scoring record against St. Ignatius, but also get that clock running.
If the Eagles allow more than 15 points, which they have at 17, their record is 3-30.
That to me is amazing, especially because of all the great defenses that St. Ed's has had throughout the years. In the 70s and the 80s, you figured we'd won a few games like, I don't know, 14, 13, 15, 17, 14, something like that.
So Ivanchuk is going to throw the football out of the backfield, steps up in the pocket. He's going to run the football with a lot of room, picks up the first down.
Here comes the flag behind the play.
There's going to be a holding call as he gets inside the 20-yard line. And they're going to call St. Ed's. They're going to move that one back. And the guilty party, just by their body movement, is Jack Marquardt.
Well, like I said, there's probably a half dozen other plays they could have called holding on both sides. And once in a while, the referees choose to throw it there. I'm sure it was a good call.
So that'll negate the big run by Ivanchuk.
It appears our referees do not want to go home early.
Unfortunately, there has been an exit formation on the other side of the field.
Well, tonight it looked like the Ignatius crowd showed up a little late and are leaving a little early, would be the best way to describe it, beating traffic.
As the great late Nev Chandler would say, they're an exit formation.
Exit formation.
3rd down and 18 now for St. Ed's. One of the few times that they played behind the sticks. Heavy rush as Ivanchuk flushed out of the pocket. He finds an open receiver. That's Joe Moore. Moore will get it over the 40, and he'll pick up a good chunk of the yardage.
Still some big hitting here. I mean, we had a heck of a block here on the backside around the 45, and that was a heck of a hit to our tight end right there. Guys are still playing.
Joe Moore picking up his second catch of the night.
We got 4th and 4 here, right? This is telling. We going to go for it? We going to run the clock out here and call timeout?
It's either going to be Ivanchuk or Ty Buchanan. It looks like, oh no, I thought he was, oh yeah, Ty Buchanan is in there. I think they're going to keep Brandon White out.
I would.
So Ty Buchanan in the backfield to the left of Ivanchuk on 4th down. They're going to throw the football.
Watch out.
Looking, throwing, short. And that is the first turnover on downs for the Eagles tonight.
That was a great rush by Ignatius there. He got a hit and a rush on the quarterback. Forced us into a tough pass. And like you said, turnover on downs.
And the Eagles, again, have not punted in the last 2 games.
Some of these stats that you're throwing at me and things, it's pretty crazy. The first field goal attempt, haven't punted in 2 games.
I want to see Landon Walcom punt the football.
I do too. I saw him warming up. I said, who is this guy practicing punting as an offensive lineman? And sure enough, that was our punter. He is an offensive lineman and a good punter to boot.
So the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Dane Donovan on the day, 4 of 7 for 41 yards. He's run the ball for 56. The pass caught by Luke Sims, his first catch of the day.
There he is.
And he gets out of bounds, and he picks up the first down after a gain of 12 on the play.
Well, up by 28, 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and they're one of their most explosive players. Touches the ball for the first time. I think our defense did a good job.
Came into the game, 26 catches for 417 yards. Last week, 8 catches for 76 against Benedictine. That was a big win for Benedictine last week, 16-14.
Huge.
Renewing that rivalry that dates back to the charity game at the old Cleveland Municipal Stadium. On 1st and 10, looking to throw, looking right, looking left, running for his dear life, dumps it out of bounds, and a good catch by Coach Roddy over there.
Great catch. Put me in, Coach.
Catches it, gives it back to the official, and cool as a cucumber on that far side.
Oh.
2nd down and 10. Now, Donovan had a little bit of time to throw, but good defensive coverage there by the Eagles' defensive backs.
Listen, we've got, I think, 3 or 4 Division I defensive backs. It is the strength of this football team, with maybe a lot of people don't understand or realize. Our DBs are really good, and Coach Pappas is able to do a lot of different things defensively because of the skill level, athleticism that we have in our backfield right now.
Donovan looking to
for
set
a
up.
screen. They were looking for a screen, got broken up, and
Colin Crocker coming in to make the tackle. He was hungry, and he gobbled him up.
I think they were trying to set up a little screen there to the right or up the middle, and St. Ed sniffed that out pretty well.
Colin Crocker came into this game 3.5 sacks.
Yep, they were trying to get it to 33 right there. Did a good job.
And what a bull rush as he went up against Andrew Davila.
Again, I think we're able to send like an extra linebacker blitzing on the run, blitzing on the pass every so often, simply because of how good our DBs are, how much we trust them.
Takancic and Sims are the receivers on the near side, as Trey Haddad is the receiver on the far side. They're going to send 3-4 on the pattern. Oh, there's a hold and nothing called. Wow. And then he gets hammered as he gets the completion, and it is caught at the 35-yard line. As Dane Donovan got hammered, there was a hold on that play.
Well, a big play by Ignatius in the end, and I'm just going to say that the flag got caught in the referee's pocket there. The heck of a hit on the quarterback there as well. But all in all, a good completion for Ignatius, a first down. Got a little under 9 minutes to go here in the ball game.
Zach Putka coming in to make the catch. That was a gain of 25 yards. 8:30 to go in this ball game.
Putka family, is that the Putka family from St. James, the old St. Mark's, St. James combination? Gotta love them.
Donovan fakes the throw, dumps a little and throws it out of bounds.
Smart play. So many connections here, so many people that you know throughout the years. I'm going back to 40 years now since being a student, walking the halls in the mid-'80s till now. And
what was your graduation year?
1990. Me and Bobby Z right here. Freshman year was 86, but I would come to St. Ed's. My brothers were the class of 79 and 80, Jim and Dan, and my brother Brian in 86.
Gosh, I feel old now.
Yeah. No, you are old.
I am.
Yeah. A lot of people think I'm old and want me to retire as the basketball coach, I think, after we struggled a couple years. And that's what I love about coaching high school sports, right? Everybody's got an opinion, and they think they have all the answers. But I'm pretty excited about basketball season here. I love our guys. Guys have been working hard in the offseason. I think we got it rolling again, and I'm pretty excited about the next 3-4 years.
And I'm hearing that they really hit the weight room pretty hard this year.
We hit a lot of things this offseason, Adam. Coach Flannery wasn't too happy.
On the run is Babinski. He'll pick up a couple of yards. And tell us about that as we are getting near the basketball season.
Yeah, our basketball season ended against St. Ignatius last year. And they had a great team. And we played them 3 times. We battled them a couple times in the last game. Again, they just did a great job of extending the lead. And as everybody knows, they lost their head coach, Cam Joyce. He took another job in California. And I'm just disappointed because we wanted to get our chance, get back at him and what he's done a great job of building over there in the basketball program. But I think we have things rolling again. We've got some extremely talented sophomores and freshmen and 3 great senior leaders this year.
Donovan throwing with heavy pressure, gets the pass off, and it is complete. Matt Joyce.
It's a heck of a catch and heck of a throw right there.
Just running for dear life, and there's Joyce to come up to make the catch. Matt Joyce picking up his first make that his 6th reception of the year, first of the night. St. Ed's 455 in total offense, St. Ignatius 244. but they've got 16 first downs compared to 19 for St. Ed's. Donovan throwing underneath. Pass is caught, taken down, and the catch is made once again by Shane O'Leary, the senior.
O'Leary's I mean, we all know his father, and what a great football player he was, and I see him on the golf course once in a while. Great family there.
Dan
you hear all
O'Leary?
these, I mean, it's amazing. Some of these guys just
the Haddad name.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Haddad's a great friend of mine, who's Trey's uncle. Played at Purdue, right around my time, a little younger than me, but guys that we hang out with their families now. Shane Rock and his son, and what they've gone through there, and trying to raise money for Shane Rock. What a great cause, and what a wonderful family. Him, Eric, and Amy. What they have done with their kids, and just the Haddad. You just hear all these names, right? They just mentioned Joyce, and I looked at Bob Z right here and said, "Is that the Joyces we know? Is it a different Joyce?" Like so many stories go way back.
So on first and goal to go at the 9, play action fake. Donovan flushed out of the pocket to the near side, being chased at the 5, and
just short.
They're going to call him short at the 1-yard line. Boy, he
took off on that one as the clock's approaching 6 minutes here. You cannot fault this quarterback, man. He has given his heart and soul on just about every possession. He's taken a lot of hits. He's got to be exhausted.
Aiden Peterson on the chase.
Yep, under center.
That's a few times. They'll have one in the backfield. And
Donovan's tush push right there.
Yeah, Donovan's going to score from a yard out, and it's 45-23.
Again, that young man probably deserved another touchdown, just the way he's been competing and reading stuff. And
nothing much there. They got a good push at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. Give them credit there, right there, making it 45-23 with the extra point pending.
Kyle Ritt getting ready for the extra point. Out of the hold of DJ Malik. Ritt looking to make it a 45-24 game. Awaiting the shotgun snap. High, down, kick up, away, and it is good. 45-24 is our score. We will take this time out. You're watching Olympic Forest Products St. Edward High School football presented by Franciscus Roofing on the Eagle Sports Network and Ennio Productions.
Bettering lives is what you live for. You treat setbacks as a chance to come back stronger and create new ways to move past injuries. See how we're advancing orthopedic care at Cleveland Clinic today.
45-24, our score here.
Well, some people, I've dealt with this as a coach, right? Some people are going to look at the score and say, what happened, St. Ed? You're supposed to win by 40 points. We have some of those people. I would just say those people have no clue what they're talking about, and I'm going to say that in a nice way. St. Ed's took care of business today. I thought they did a tremendous job of scoring and making plays every time they had to. And they extended this lead. Sure, there's some things that they can clean up. I know Coach Corcoran, Coach Pappas, Coach Lombardo, they're going to be upset about a few plays and a few things, but this is such an intense rivalry. And what everybody needs to understand is Ignatius has got talent over there. They've got some players, they've got some size, they always got the bodies. I'm just proud of the way that we came out and handled business tonight. Unless I jinx anything, it looks like we're going to get a W here with a 3-touchdown lead, but I'm sure as a coach, Coach Lombardo's still coaching, as would I, no matter what the situation is right now.
We've seen Coach Pappas and how intense he is on the sidelines.
Yep.
Is he the same in the building?
No. And I'll get to that in a second, but here comes an onside kick.
Ball will be picked up by Landon
job.
Lamer at the 38-yard line. Eagles will have good field position.
I don't know if people know this or you know this, but Coach Pappas is an unbelievable magician. He is one of his best friends. I'm not sure what his name is. One of his best friends is actually a famous magician.
Really?
And Pete has kind of followed in his footsteps. He does things that I cannot explain, and I'm not just talking about a card trick. I'm talking about making things disappear, and he did one to me that I just could not believe what he did. So just a little fun fact about Coach Pappas there. And what a genius he is on the field of mixing things up and doing things well, and he's the magician in the classroom as well.
Langston Lucas
Here we
now
go.
in
This
there.
This is what I like to see. 21-point lead. Coach Lombardo's face has got to be red as red can be, and he's screaming at somebody on the sideline, bringing his team over. This is the coaching I love. This is why St. Ed's football is what it is right now. We're not laying off the gas necessarily, but we're still making sure that everybody's accountable for what they're doing, and somebody screwed up right here. And this is something that can cost you down the line, and Coach Lombardo is making sure that that does not go unnoticed.
Time to take a look at our J.P. Farley player of the game, and really that is a no-brainer. Brandon White is our J.P. Farley player of the game. 22 carries, 233 yards with 3 touchdowns, and with 1 catch for 8 yards, and then a couple of kick returns and punt returns. So Brandon White, our J.P. Farley player of the game, empowering people, elevating benefits. Also, we're in the TV timeout, so that gives us a little more time to discuss things.
Well, player of the game, first of all, it's somewhat of an obvious choice. But Zach Hackelman had an unbelievable game. Our quarterback had an unbelievable game. And our offensive line, Brandon White would probably say give it to the offensive line as a group because of what he did. But it's the right choice.
So do we want to...
Coach, Adam, you know me. I would say don't give it to anybody. Give it.
I know.
Give it to my star. Give it to the bench guys. Give it to the guy that played the hardest today or cheered the hardest or what have you. But they're all such good guys, good kids. It's well deserved, Brandon. Well deserved.
I mean, Hackelman breaks the ties the
yep.
No,
he
I'm
tied
sorry.
it and broke it.
Tied it and broke for most touchdowns in a season, in a 10-game season. Now they're going to give the ball to Ty Buchanan. Buchanan off on a run as he gets it to the 45-yard line.
What a run.
He is so fast.
That's our second running back right there. Pretty explosive. Give credit to T.J. Gallagher there, our running backs coach. He's got these guys prepared.
And look who led the block.
Brandon White setting the lead screen. I mean, that's a heck of a room T.J.'s got there. I'm sure there's probably 3 others that we're going to hear about as the year progresses next year and so on.
Well, you got Javon Woods, can also tote the football.
I mean, I mentioned guys like Chris Mobley, Chris Williams, Danny Andrews. It's just from that has gone on like every year.
And checking into the ball game is the young junior, Colin Tedesco.
Here we go. Is that Carm's son?
Yes,
oh,
it is.
My gosh, he's probably screaming on the sideline right now. It's somebody. So happy for him.
They're going to give the ball to Buchanan. Buchanan gets up. He backs his way to close to the first down. Leading the block was Tedesco.
And little, not like his father at all. He actually hit somebody and blocked somebody. So little different than his old man there, Nuge. I could give him a little grief here.
I'm looking for him on the sideline.
I want Nuge to do a basketball game one of these days. I hear he screams and yells and all that stuff when he's doing the commentary here. Kind of missed that a little bit maybe. I don't know.
2nd down and 4. Langston Lucas in as the quarterback out of the shotgun. He's going to run it at the 30. Puts his head down to the 25.
There you go, young man.
Langston Lucas, another 2-sport star. First baseman on the baseball team. Started as a freshman.
Unfortunately, those guys are becoming more and more rare in today's world. The 2-sport, 3-sport athletes, it's a shame. One of the things that I don't like about the changing ways right now, obviously kids need to focus on certain sports, and it's hard to play. Like I'm a basketball guy. I told people I played 4 sports when I was at St. Ed's. I'm a hypocrite if I don't allow kids to play other sports. However, everybody's playing one sport, and they continue to get better and better, and it's hard not to compete if you don't give up other sports.
Do you remember a person that's played 3 sports in the same year, a 3-sport athlete?
I'm sure there's a few, but it's been
on the run is Javon Woods. Woods will get it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a great question. I know there has to be, if we talk about football, basketball, and track, a lot of football track guys.
Right.
But God, to give me an exact name, I'm not too sure. I'd have to think about that one. Who? So I just said, I played football, freshman JV. Coach Urbis was my freshman football coach. Jim McQuaid was my defensive line coach. Tom Becks coached me in football. Played golf my senior year, was on the golf team. Baseball for a couple years. Varsity baseball.
Getting the handoff.
With the great Bob Zaremba. Jimmy Hoy, a year ahead of us, is now a major league umpire. Umpiring, I thought he umpired in the World Series last year. Obviously played basketball for 4 years with legends like Rick Sabeck, Mike Zana, Eric Saunders, Pat Campbell. Throw out a shout out to Terry Carlin and my cousin Dennis Hanna. These guys get to throw out names when they're in this thing. I always said I would never be throwing names out, but here I am.
remember playing baseball against Pat Campbell's brother George.
Darren and George.
Darren and George, yeah.
Man, those guys were.
I remember George got drafted by the Cincinnati Reds.
Talk about an athletic family. Here we are rolling up on 2 minutes here, third down. We're still giving it up. Quarterback keeper.
It is Langston Lucas fighting for the first down. Still
there
going.
He goes. Oh, his helmet's off. Watch it. That's where it gets a little scary there.
Langston Lucas.
Look at that guy fighting. Langston is a battler.
Look at him.
God bless
One
him.
hit.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Look at this.
4, 5, 6.
There goes the helmet, 7 and 8. And now he's got to come out of the game because he lost his helmet. Who did we put back in? I hope we didn't put our starter back in.
Number 16 is Joe D'Ambrosia.
Oh, boy. It's a fumble. There is a fumble. It kind of bobbled the exchange, and Ignatius will recover.
So another turnover by the Eagles, as that is going to be one thing that Coach Lombardo is going to talk about. Oh, it was a bad handoff to Tedesco.
Coach Lombardo right there is teaching technique as they're walking off the field. He's talking to his running back, talking to his quarterback. This is how you're supposed to do it. This is how guys get better and how they learn.
So the bad handoff from D'Ambrosia to Tedesco gets the fumble, and it gives the ball back to the St. Ignatius Wildcats with 1:64 remaining.
Well, ever since Bobby Zaremba said we got to break the record of 48 points, we've gone stale. So I'm going to blame him.
He jinxed it.
Yeah.
He jinxed it. There's the announcer's jinx.
Yeah.
We're going to call this one the statistician's
jinx. Got to keep you away from the basketball team this year.
After this play, we'll give thanks to our crew for tonight's game as it's 1st and 10 at the St. Ignatius 12-yard line. Jacob Micken is in the ball game.
Here we go.
Looking to throw, running for dear life, scrambling, tosses it out of bounds.
See, he is a runner. Did you see a run off to the side there?
Want to give a big thanks to our producer, director, Christopher Mendoza, Race Hook on camera, our statistician crew of Bob Zaremba and Rob Cinco, and my partner, Eric Flannery, tonight. Eric, it has been such a pleasure to have you up here.
This really has been fun. And I'll tell you what I learned, obviously you have an idea because of just being around for so long. But the time and effort that you guys put in, the statisticians, you guys, Chris, I mean, this is amazing. This is professional as professional can be. And here's what I'll say. Obviously, if I did this more often like you guys, you become a little bit more experienced. I've got 35 sheets of paper in front of me. I don't think I had time to look at any one of them. And you guys are going off of stats. You're calling each other. They're throwing things left and right. If anybody ever second guesses what you guys do, they're crazy. It's unbelievable what's going on here behind the scenes. The things that you guys do, the names that you're able to call. I mean, I see these kids on a daily basis, and I don't know who half of these guys are once they put a helmet on and the number. It's unbelievable.
Haddad picking up his first reception of the ball game on that last play. 3rd down and 11. Long throw. Oh. Caught by Haddad at the 49-yard line.
There's the Haddad we thought we were going to see most of the game. They just threw it up and let it go. A heck of a athletic play right here. I don't know if he got that from his father or his uncle, but I'm going to give it to his uncle since I know him more. Bobby Zaremba says Dan Enovich might have been our last 3-sport stud athlete.
Lacrosse, football, and hockey.
Lacrosse, football, and hockey. And leave it to Bobby Z.
And then he went to the Naval Academy.
Yep.
And that one goes out of play.
Late hit. What are we doing?
And the flag is thrown.
So this is where I, as a coach, would get extremely frustrated. I mean, again, guys don't get an opportunity to play maybe, and they're getting a little heated, whatever, talking, but You got to be better than that. Here we are, the game's pretty much over. We got 12 seconds left in the game, and you get a flag for an unsportsmanlike or a late hit. And I know they're going to – I think they just take – Coach Pappas is giving him an earful right here, which he should.
15 yards on the penalty. And, hey, look, if I'm St. Ignatius and I'm Micken, you've made 2 big passes to Trey Haddad. Go for him in the end zone.
I mean, take a shot at him or Sims, right?
Sims on the near side, Haddad on the right. They're going to go long.
There it is. There's Sims, deep corner.
And Sims will get the touchdown.
5 seconds to go.
Braylon Adams there on the coverage, and Sims comes up with it. And we'll take a look at the replay. Great pass by Micken.
Sims just got behind that defender, and a great pass over top. Number 12 was a little late recovering on that one, and again, a learning experience for some of our guys that are in the game right now.
That's Braylon Adams, the Youngstown State commit. 30 points for the Wildcats.
This is good experience, too, for their sophomore. Their sophomore quarterback is getting some minutes here in a big game like this, and obviously shows the kind of arm that he has and looks like a bright future at quarterback for St. Ignatius.
Last time they scored 30 or more points, you had to go back to 2016 when they beat the Eagles 38-31 in a state playoff game in overtime. And that one is up and
we
through.
Got flag down, though, legal procedure on Ignatius. Told you the referees didn't want to go home. Even on an extra point, they're throwing a flag and redoing it here.
Illegal procedure is the call. And that 38-31 game was played at Bedford Bearcat Stadium. That's when Kevin Kramer broke his leg on that play.
That was such a tough night.
Garrett Zuro had to come in as a young sophomore.
Such a tough night for Kevin. I mean, what a player he was and having a great season. So many of these things run together for me just to bring them back up, and you get comments from people, and it's just amazing to remember so many of these great moments. And obviously on both sides of the ball, these kids are going to remember tonight for the rest of their lives.
Garrett Zuro, my financial advisor for my retirement.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
Well, let's hope he doesn't fumble that.
That one goes up, and it's good, and it's 45-32. Yeah, I hope so. I just have a few years before I can call it quits.
Let's try to make a funny at the end here, sense of humor. Not very funny.
40. I don't know. Your wife always tells me of these things,
Yeah. Unfortunately, my wife now works at St. Ed's full time, and God, I love her so much, but imagine going to work with your wife every single day and seeing her. I love her, and it's great.
But you don't want to see her every day.
Well, I mean,
you're not going to admit
I want to
that.
go home and see her. I don't know if I want to go to work and see her, but she's been awesome. Everybody loves her. I know way too much now at St. Ed's because of her, because I usually just put my head down and do my job.
I got to ask, how's it being a granddad?
Oh, thank you for bringing that up, because that was going to be my last shout out. Is obviously congratulations to my son Sean and his wife Janice for having Hayden Patrick. I'm going to get it wrong, but I think it's got to be 6-7 weeks ago exactly, the date. Being a grandfather, I don't ever want to be called that because I'm too young for that.
No. Gramps.
Mrs. Flan and I have had such great experience and love it so much, and we're so happy for those two. And I do have to give a shout out to my daughter Grace dates Dominic DiVincenzi, who was a former Ignatius kick returner defensive back, and I got an Ignatius guy that might be in our family soon, so I got to prepare for that.
Well, the clock reads all zeros. The Eagles win this one 45-31. It may be a 14-point win, but it was a much bigger win for the Eagles tonight.
Listen, I think if you're coming out of this game, obviously St. Ed's, your coach Lombardo, you got through it. You got to win. I think your team played extremely well in spurts, and really for the most part, except for a couple little things here and there. Coach Friday, the first half, Ignatius played really well. I think it was just, if I was him, at halftime, I would just be amazed that we played so well, or they played so well, and they're still down 2 touchdowns. It just says a little bit about maybe where the programs are right now. Ignatius didn't quit. They fought till the end. Obviously, cutting it to 14 points probably wasn't indicative of what the game was. I think we kind of put them away right around halftime and a little bit thereafter, but both coaches have to try to take something from this, because if Ignatius doesn't turn this around, they may not be getting into the playoffs this year. So they have to find another win somewhere here at the end of the season. And St. Ed's, obviously the schedule doesn't get any easier, so I'm sure they're going to take some lessons from this and move on.
We're going to do it now? Okay. As I got the word from our producer director. Today's game is being brought to you by Olympic Forest Products, consistent, reliable, built to go to the distance. By Franciscus Roofing, Cleveland, Ohio's trusted name in roofing. By Joyce Buick GMC, drive Joyce, your friends and neighbors do. By Tokar & Company CPAs, your local and full-service accounting firm. By J.P. Farley, empowering people, elevating benefits. By Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick, hurting a car, call K&R. And by the Cleveland Clinic, the official healthcare provider of St. Edward Athletics. Well, Brandon White is our player of the game, and the Eagles now take the series lead 33-32-1 and have won 9 games in a row against the Wildcats.
What a run we are on. Once again, just proves and shows what a rivalry we have when it's 33-32-1 after all of these years. How competitive it's been. It's our turn right now. Obviously, as a St. Ed's guy and with Coach Lombardo, we don't want this streak to end anytime soon.
Next week, it'll be Football North, who came up to Ohio a couple of weeks ago and beat Massillon 34-2. They will be the opponent next Friday night.
My last important stat real quick is 36 years ago in this game, the guy next to me, Bobby Zaremba, had an interception against St. Ignatius.
Wow.
How about
Way
that?
to go, Bob.
How about that?
Wow. An athlete, not just a stats man. His only interception. Well, that's going to wrap things up as the Eagles win at 45-31. For Eric Flannery, I'm Adam Mendoza saying so long from the Madhouse on Madison, First Federal Lakewood Stadium, where the final score is St. Ed's 45, St. Ignatius 31. This has been a presentation of Ennio Productions and the Eagles Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody.
At Joyce Buick GMC, serving the community for nearly 60 years means offering the best service and deals in town.
Check out our great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles.
We are receiving truckloads of new vehicles and fresh trade-ins daily.
Visit us today for our lowest prices and great selection.
And that's why people say, drive Joyce. Your friends and neighbors do.
Joyce Buick GMC. Visit us on Chester Road in Avon or online at drivejoyce.com.
Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick dominates as Ohio's powerhouse personal injury law firm. For 2 decades, K&R has been relentless in our pursuit of justice, battling the big insurance companies and securing some of the largest settlements in the Buckeye State. We forged our way to the top by taking on the toughest cases and treating every client like they're our only client. Hurt in a car? Call K&R, Ohio's largest injury law firm, at 1-800-HURT-NOW.